What's going on, y'all? Gazerine 2K back here with another episode of the Gust of Wind podcast. I have Steuben in my general vicinity. I'm not sure. I still don't know if it's my left or right, Stu. Where are you?
Technically, if you're watching the video version, I am to your left. Like if they're facing us.
Steuben
But
to my
I'm
left.
I'm on your right. So stage left, your right.
Steuben's here. He's here somewhere. And that's all I know. I don't know where, but he's here somewhere. Stubby, tell me about your week, bro.
Pretty quiet actually. Boss man was in California all week. So I worked through most of the weekend, had Sunday off. Emily and we went to a fruit farm, like a pumpkin patch fruit farm, little like middle of nowhere in Ohio, farmers marketplace called White House Fruit Farms. And it was super awesome. We got donuts, apple cider, got hot sauce, jelly, apple butter, licorice. It was awesome. And then like we got like this like little metal painted pot planter for like flowers, and it's like painted like this derpy Frankenstein dude, and then like there's just this big red set of bums hanging out of its head, and then we got like a little like light up ghosty sign. It was a good time.
That's so cute.
So many questions. You said in the middle of nowhere of Ohio. Isn't that literally like the middle of nowhere anyway? Like
that's Ohio. Like Ohio.
Yeah. We actually had to go through a town, through a cornfield to get there. So yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, you said you guys had hot sauce, jelly, licorice, donuts,
apple butter,
apples.
Yeah.
Apple butter. Did all that go together? You didn't eat it all together.
No. It's like all like individually made in different items we bought.
Bro, I thought you were. I don't know what I thought, but yeah.
The donuts were really good. They had one that was apple cider flavored, and it was perfect.
Okay, so a nice weekend. That's good.
Yep. How about you?
I'll tell you about my week. Okay, so Stupid. What is my favorite deck right now?
Well, your deck of the week changes every week. 1 week it's Reggie's, 1 week it's Stones, then it's Zoroark, then it's Palkia and Ice Rider, and Palkia and Kyurem, and you've been playing a lot of Zoroark though.
It's been a lot of Zoroark. I've been taking it to locals. The group I play with, they don't like Zoroark. They say it's not good. So I took it to different team challenges and team qualifiers. I kept getting knocked out by the guy that plays Reggie's. So I took Dunsparce out of my deck, and he kept knocking me out.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
And I couldn't do anything. I wanted to make it a turbo list, and it works. And I beat Palkia. I beat Mew. I beat everybody, but then I get to the top 4, and there he is, and he's just like, Reggie Rock, go, bow. I finally qualified Friday.
Congrats.
Because he qualified Wednesday, so he's out the way. I ran through everybody Friday, qualified for a team challenge, played in the tournament this past Monday after everyone was giving me a hard time about it yesterday, and I took top 4 there too. And this is just a regular tournament, no team challenge. But my thing is, I'm just saying Zoroark has a place in this meta. I feel like it could really be well. It took top 8 in the last regional.
Yeah, it did.
Have you looked at that list? That list is nice.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did look
smooth.
at it. The double parasol piqued my interest.
Not even the parasol, the Sharon. The Sharon's care comes in handy more than you think. Like my deck beats like all the big meta, but it loses the Lost Box, which is everywhere. So I'm like, I'm losing to the most popular deck, but I can beat Palkia, Mew, everything else, no problem. It's just
I don't know how like people didn't put 2 and 2 together with like Sharon Scare, so like just immediately
because my thought process was it's a glass cannon. I'd knock them out, they knock me out. We just go back and forth. It's just a slugfest. But single prizes don't just knock me out like that. So it's like Sharon's care. So I love my list, but I might start playing the other one. I just wish like we had like more insight on like that list and all the other lists from the regionals and like just everything that happened this past weekend, and just because this past weekend was Peoria, in Illinois. And I wish we had someone like who just could like explain to us, who's like there almost. Like maybe talked about.
Let me get out the handy dandy notebook and we'll get a clue for you, Gazer.
Or just wish we had like we could bring on a guest who like just was there for all that, see what happened firsthand, and just. Do you know anyone like that, Stu? I just wish.
I mean, I could try and talk to Chip and see if he'd come on, but I don't know about that.
Number 1 caster Chip.
I mean, I don't know.
Who can get then, man? What are you thinking?
Well, what about Frosted Caribou?
Shelby Boo?
Who?
I love Frosted Caribou.
Well, what do you know? She just happens to have been in this Discord call the entire time anyways.
You didn't tell me that. That's
just
crazy.
Hanging out in the back room, hiding behind a lamp like it's an episode of Blue's Clues.
Popping up in your window.
He does this every week.
people love it. By people, I mean like 3 people, who comment, message me and say, "Hey, we love it." So 3 people love it.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, shout out to those 3 people.
Yeah, keep providing for those 3. The trio.
Exactly.
but no, we are joined today by the lovely Shelby Boo, Frosted Caribou herself. Boo, Miss Boo, Miss Shelby.
Boo is,
what
Boo is good. Boo's
go with Boo.
very good, yeah.
So Boo, how are you? How are things? You got back not too long ago, right?
Yeah, I got back. Wait, what's today? Tuesday?
Mhm.
I got back yesterday. Yeah, I drove to Peoria, so it was like 6.5-hour drive.
Okay.
Not too bad.
That's not
Same
bad.
drive that I made to Columbus for NAIC. So I did that, but that was because my plane was canceled like last minute. So that one wasn't planned. But then I was like, actually, I don't mind driving. So for Peoria, there's like no direct flights in, and it was super annoying. It was turning like a 2-hour trip into like 8 hours because it was like fly here, then fly there, then fly here. So I was just like, whatever, I'll just drive it. I'd rather do that. Yeah. So yeah, I got back like yesterday afternoon. I had to get up very early for something else this morning, and I didn't get to go to sleep till quite late because I had someone staying with me that was stopping on the way back home from Peoria. So I got very little sleep. So after I did my thing this morning, I took like a 4-hour nap in the middle of the day, pretty much. Yeah.
Power nap. I wish I could get
Yes.
those in.
I miss naps. Oh, man.
Yes. And now we're here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for joining us. You like popped into like one of my streams on Twitch, and I was like, oh my god, what? No way. Is this real? I like freaked out for a minute, and I was like, I gotta ask. I was like, would you join us on here? And when you said yes, I was like, all right, I'm gonna DM you tomorrow. I was so excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was the funniest reaction ever. I just like did a wave or something in stupid stream right when you were ending too.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh my god, is that Frosty Caribou? And I was like, what?
Frosted Caribou.
I did. I totally did.
Best reaction I've ever gotten. It was great.
It was awesome.
I am curious though, Boo. How'd you stumble across Steuben's stream? He was streaming his single prize showdown. He used to do a series of it, tournaments on Limitless. It was once a month and became every bi-weekly, and he just brought it back that week. How'd you come across that?
I actually, so when I play PTCGO, I like to watch streams as well. I've been absorbing a lot more content since I started casting. So I usually just pull up a stream and start watching it. I don't know. You all must know Optimal 60, Michaela, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Michaela actually told me that she's friends with you, and I was like, oh, Steuben. I think I've seen Steuben on Twitter or something, and so I kind of like knew you from online a little bit. But then when I popped on like who's streaming PTCGO, I saw your stream and I was like, whoa, I know Steuben kind of. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Your stream and
That's awesome. Twice somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
No, people really love those tournaments, except for the ones that like we don't ban anything, and then it turns into a nightmare. So for the context on the tournament series, sometimes is like it's single prizer, and like we started doing it before GLC popped off and was a thing, and then we would ban cards every time there was like a winner. So we had a really large one in January of last year, and Pumpkin Amy won, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to ban Birdkeeper, I'm going to ban Rowlet and Hoopa, have a nice day. And so for the next tournament, like, people started playing, we'll play Infiltrator Dragapult, we banned that, and eventually we had to ban Weezing, and then we did one where we did no bans, and it was nothing but Weezing mirror matches.
Oh, no.
And it was a nightmare for all of that.
That sounds complicated.
And then this time it was all Lost Box decks. And it was just Sableye, Cramorant back and forth.
Oof.
So the next time we're banning those.
What about that time LDF won one with a Rapid Strike box?
Yeah. LDF plays in them every once in a while, and he won one with a like Urshifu.
Baby Urshifu.
Yeah, baby Urshifu, Octillery, and all these other Rapid Strike cards. And I was just I got to ban this card now too. Because then everyone's just going to see, LDF won with this. This must be good.
Yeah, let's all play
and then let's all play it. So
yeah, I took top 4 with Weezing, and then he banned it. I was like, what are you doing? I was going to win the whole thing next time with Weezing, and he banned it. I haven't played in it since. So I refuse.
I don't
unban Weezing.
The ban.
I don't think I could ever let Weezing come back into that format. Like, I don't want to ban Comfy and like Chorus and Mirage Gate, but
you might have to.
I think they're okay as long as I ban Sableye and Cramorant. I think it'd be all right.
Yeah,
Sableye is
probably
a menace,
okay.
man. Sableye is a menace.
Sableye is a menace. It definitely dominated this weekend in Peoria.
It did. It did.
Tord. You can't flush the Tord, as I like to say sometimes. Taking the dub over the whole thing with Lost Box. I've said it a few times before. What? You can't. He's so good. It's a bad pun, but like, come on.
Flush the Tord.
You can't. What hasn't
No
he
matter
won?
how hard you try.
What hasn't he won other than Worlds?
No matter how hard you try, you can't flush the Tord. Okay.
This was actually, I think, his first U.S. regional that he took.
Yeah, he's been on an absolute tear.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
This guy's a monster, man. He goes to every other regional.
Like, I mean, he does it for a living, this? So
yeah, like, he's a monster, man. How are you doing this?
He's not a monster. Monster is like too harsh of a word.
Monster in a good way.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
Okay, yes, he's a beast. There we go. That's
an ultra beast.
Oh yeah, if he was an ultra beast, he'd be Buzzwole, flexing those wins.
Buzzwole.
Oh man! All right.
That's funny.
So for people who don't know you, Boo, they have to live under a rock. Obviously, you've got 100,000 plus YouTube subscribers. Yeah, at this point, you got your first play button, which is awesome.
I haven't even hung it on my wall. It's just sitting in the box next to me, actually.
You had that for what, about 3 or 4 months now, haven't you?
I know.
I mean, you're busy. You're traveling. You're going around to the events.
Wall space? I don't have the wall space.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put it. So, but I'll have a new studio soon.
There you go.
I'll be hanging it up.
Let's go. Awesome. But for those that don't know you, for whatever chance, do you want to give a small little like self intro?
Yeah, sure. I am a full-time content creator and I guess now Pokemon TCG caster as well. If you may have met me through, I casted NAIC, Worlds, and then just recently Peoria, Illinois was my first regional I ever casted, so that was really cool. But yeah, normally I'm on YouTube. I do card openings on YouTube primarily, where they get very silly. I do Pokemon impressions, lots of memes, lots of jokes, lots of editing. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. So we're going to ask you 6 random questions. We call this the 6 prize turn. Gazer and I are going to go back and forth. It's like an icebreaker sort of segment. Rapid fire, yeah.
This is everyone's favorite segment. Just answer off the top, off the rip, whatever comes to your mind, just boom, blurt it out, say it, don't think about it.
Got it.
Gazer, you want to take the first one?
This is the segment everyone's been asking about. It's sweeping the nation.
I'm nervous.
I don't know about the nation, but maybe like a couple states in America.
They can't get enough of that six prize. They can't get enough of it. They're like, I need more.
Maybe maybe like a Canadian province or whatever, but I don't know about the nation.
Sweeping the Canadian province. Okay, so when you take it away, man, you started off.
Oh man, all right. Favorite non-Pokemon franchise?
Probably like Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
Does that count? Yeah, that's a franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of a universe or whatever. Yeah.
Totoro. Okay. If you didn't go with the name Frosted Caribou, what would you have called yourself?
Oh wow, that's a good one. I have no idea actually. Frosted Caribou, it was a very random thing. It was actually like my Xbox gamer tag, and I came about it very randomly. So probably would.
It can't be as random as mine. But I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
Mine was pretty random. Okay, so this is what happened. I'm looking for an Xbox gamer tag. I was on a website, like an auto name generator, just to like find one. And I didn't even find it from that. I actually accidentally clicked like an advertisement on the site that took me to like betting on racehorses. And on the roster for the racehorses, one was Frosted and one was Caribou. And I just combined them. And that's how it came about.
Oh my God.
I just thought it looked cute. Like I wrote it out and I was like, "Oh, this is cute. Let's go with this." That was it.
My little brother took like one of the random ones when he was a kid that Xbox would give out, and he's stuck with it for like 20 something years now. Like I was like, all right, whatever.
That's me pretty much.
There you go.
As well.
Okay, you win that one. You're right.
You're right.
Mine came from I was making my PlayStation name for my PlayStation.
Okay,
3,
similar.
and I just got my PlayStation 3. I got NBA 2K. I said, "Oh, I want to play NBA 2K." So I'm like, "Okay, I have to make a name for it. What do I call myself?" I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, "What?" Nothing's coming to mind. And in the background, I have The Incredibles playing. And one of the superheroes in The Incredibles, he died. His name was Gazerbeam. And they say his name in the background. You know, yeah, sometimes in Gazerbeam. I'm like, Gazer, that's a cool name. I'll be Gazerbeam. I type it in. Yeah, I'll be Gazerbeam. I was like, wait, I'm gonna play NBA 2K. I'll put 2K on it. Gazerbeam 2K. And I was like 13-year-old Gazer, 14-year-old, and it's just stuck. And here I am.
There you go.
So yeah, I thought mine was pretty random, but yours is literally like.
Yeah,
I mean, you went to a random name generator, so it's literally the most
yeah.
random thing you could. Yeah, so you're right.
And then I
You win.
found it even more randomly than that. So yeah,
Yeah.
totally
You win.
random.
How has Disney not come after you this entire time?
I'm waiting for it to happen, and after that, I have to come up with a new name. So I'm waiting. I need to ask myself the question: if I wasn't Gazerbeam, what would I call myself? I guess
The
I would
cease and
become like
desist.
GB2K.
Oh
I
my.
have no idea what probably just Pokeboos what I would be if I didn't have Frosted Caribou.
It's
It's like a shortened version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's close enough. People will
That's-
recognize it.
Yeah, that's
Stephen,
like
will
what
you
my
ever share,
Instagram is. Frosted Pokeboo.
We ever share the origin of your name, Stephen?
Not on the podcast. It's not kosher for the podcast.
Ooh.
I've done it on like 18+ streams on Twitch.
Even
but-
after dark.
But not. We can't hear because it involves things that aren't acceptable everywhere and legally acceptable in some places. So no.
Well,
Yeah, I'd have
I mean,
to go
last week I
cover
talked
my
about
Psyduck's ears.
Yeah.
Oh, Psyduck, don't listen.
Actually, he's
last week
covering his own ears.
Boo, last week I slipped up and I talked about how can I say this nicely now? Drug
Oh.
addicts.
Oh.
So yeah,
How did that come up?
long story. Stephen wanted me to do a cosplay from a character from the Dave Chappelle show.
I see.
Yeah. He was fiending for PAX. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Packs, man. I got them packs. So
I understand.
So yeah, he just kind of he kind of lost his mind there for a minute.
yeah, and I was like, wait, we're on YouTube. Can I say that on YouTube? Can I say that on Twitch? Where can I say this? So Stephen, everyone's asking for that After Dark of Gust to Win, man. The people they're demanding it. They're asking for it, man. They want the Gust to Win After Dark.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I don't think anyone's actually asked for that.
You're coming in droves. They're demanding it, man. It's happening. Look
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Gazerbeam 2.0 asked for it. Just a new user in the chat.
Oh, he's got a lot of extra usernames on Twitch and on Twitter.
Gazerbeam 401K.
All viewers in here are just alternate Gazerbeam accounts.
Yeah.
We demand more Gazer. No.
Oh,
All right, Stephen. I think we're barely on question 3. It's your
yes.
turn, right?
Yes. All right. Favorite brand of sleeves.
Dragon Shield.
Okay. That's about the standard. There's only been a couple non-Dragon Shield answers in like 30-ish episodes of the pod.
I'm gonna guess probably if they're not Dragon Shield, maybe Ultra Pro. Somebody said.
One person said Ultra Pro and 2 people have said Ultimate Guard.
See, Ultra Pro would be mine if they were more sturdy because I love their colors as well. Yeah. Well, Dragon Shield actually, I don't think you can beat Dragon Shield because of the dual mat. Like that's just way too sick.
Yeah, I just sleeved up my Zoroark yesterday with the dual mats, and they were brand new. I should have known not to do that, but I'm trying to shuffle. I'm like, whoa, and it was like, all over the place. It was so nice though. I had another deck in dual mats. It was beautiful. So like, I'll get some more, and I got some more sleeved it up, and I was like, I forgot brand new sleeves. I'm just everywhere. So
if you see,
and I already can't shuffle to begin with. So
the full Argenisect in a dual mat sleeve, ooh, so nice with the silver border. Can't beat it.
Yeah,
I don't even play Mew.
But if you did, that's what you would do.
If I did, yeah, that's what I would do.
All full arts, all dual mats.
Yeah.
All right, my question. Favorite evolution?
Evolution? Probably Espeon.
I can get down with Espeon.
Or Glaceon, maybe?
What about
I
you,
like
Stu?
Espeon.
Tie between Umbreon and Jolteon.
I can get down with that. That's fine.
Umbreon's chill.
You can't see it because I have the Umbreon hoodie on right now, though. I love this hoodie. It's so.
I'm wearing Sylveon.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm a poser.
Yeah,
I didn't even pick Sylveon.
Sylveon, nah, get out of here.
What if I put like
I only bought this for the Togepi, let's be real.
Oh, the
put like a
baby,
Eevee
the
Pokemon
baby's
card
on
my
the
shirt?
sleeve. Oh
Yeah, the
man.
I don't
babies,
have
yo.
anything
The
like that.
drip.
Like,
The drip.
Oh man.
I'm wearing Marvel. I don't have that.
Audio users in shambles not getting to see this drip.
Someone get Gazer a Pokemon t-shirt.
I don't have any of those. I'm wearing Marvel. This is Wolverine. I don't.
Well,
It's your question, stupid. Now I feel like
oh god. That's okay, Gazer. I'll send you a Pokemon shirt.
oh, Stu.
How sweet.
Well, I forgot what my last question was gonna be.
Good job,
You didn't
Stu.
write them down, stupid.
I did, and I can't find my notepad now. It's fine. So
Yeah.
favorite era of the TCG.
Oh, well, I joined in 2018, so I don't have that many eras.
All right, so then Sword and
But I guess
Shield
out of
or Sun and
that-
Moon.
I think I like Sun and Moon better. When when I originally started playing, I
Okay.
would vote Sun and Moon, yeah.
Okay. Gazer,
Okay.
last question's yours.
I gotta ask this, and I know you're not gonna answer it, or if you do answer, it's gonna be one of those politically correct answers. But I gotta ask: favorite person to cast with?
Oh, well, I've only casted with 2 people.
So who is it? Let's hear
That's
it.
actually not true because Kyle and I did a finals together at NAIC.
Mhm.
But I think I would have to choose Chip just because Chip and I we've casted the most together. We just have the best synergy, I think. Like I don't think you can top it. We just pair so well together. Chip's great.
I thought you wouldn't answer that question. I thought you would give one of those answers like,
I
regarding
mean,
casting, all casters are created evenly, and I enjoy casting with everyone who ever casted, or something like that. But
I mean,
you went
maybe it
for
would
it.
change if I had like more time with the other casters because I've never like had a bad casting partner. I've always enjoyed casting with whoever I'm casting with. But if I had to pick a favorite, it'd for sure be Chip. Yeah, I think I have the most amount of time with Chip though, so I think it makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfectly justifiable. Yeah.
I'm not saying I like hate Puka or anything. I love Puka. He's great. Kyle Sable House is awesome too.
Oh man, Sable House this weekend.
Speaking of not PG-13.
Oh, it was so funny. He didn't mean anything by it. It was a complete accident, but my god.
You should have been there for the behind the scenes of that.
Can you leak some deets?
Was it funny? What happened?
Okay, so the reason that whole thing was so bad was because, okay, for context, I guess for our users listening, there was a joke made that was could be interpreted as a non PG-13 joke. And it was a bit awkward because Jeremy was just like silent and then was just like okay. But yeah. And then after that awkward laugh from Jeremy, it just cuts into like a blank, or well, it's not a blank screen. It just says like 2022 or 2023 season Peoria or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And the music just starts playing. So that's why it was bad, was really the cut. And there was a lot of chaos. So I'm there adminning. So, while the casters are not casting, we have to do the cards and stuff that pop up on the stream. Yeah, that's why if you see an accidental like Caterpie pop up, that's probably me sometimes. Sometimes I mess up the system, but
you should just put a Caterpie on there now, just for the heck of it one time.
Playing boss is worse, isn't it? When a Caterpie pops up, yeah.
I literally think I did that at oh my gosh, what did I do that at? I think I did that at Worlds. A little Caterpie popped up. I was typing something else in. But anyway, so
Melanie Caterpie.
Yeah, so we're sitting there. It's me and Dawes sitting there, like doing admin, watching the match, and then we hear Kyle say this, and immediately we're just like, like everyone backstage is like, like, do we hear that?
Man.
So then they like misheard what one of our like producers was saying. So we actually have a person that is working with the delay, because there is a stream delay, that can cut things out if things go wrong on the stream. So there was a bunch of miscommunication between like the delay person and like us, and it was like they were like, should we cut it? Do we need to cut it? And they're like, no, don't cut it. But it was like already too late, and they tried to cut it, but then they didn't cut it. They cut right after it. So yeah, it was just so hectic, and it was just like, oh my.
Yeah, I feel like if they wouldn't have done that cut, like it would have probably just kind of slept underneath the radar.
Yeah, the cut was the reason.
And then now like
seemed worse.
XQC like had it on his stream
Oh, did he?
and watched the clip.
Yeah,
like of
I
all
feel so
people.
bad
But
for
like at the
Kyle.
same time though, like that's a lot of eyes on competitive
More awareness.
Pokemon
More
that
awareness.
That's
that
true.
haven't seen it before and it might pique their interest.
That is very true. That's very true. And I don't even think that tops the worst thing said in a stream. So
Oh yeah, have you watched any of Gazer's streams ever before?
Whoa! We're on YouTube now. Come on, we gotta.
whoa.
It's okay. It's fine. We're not hurting anybody, Gazer.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Just leave it at this, Boo. I won't be
Yeah.
sponsored by TPCI, by Pokemon Company ever.
I see.
Ever.
I see. Yeah, they vet us pretty hard. So
So what brought up the urge to start casting originally for you?
wow, that's a funny question. Well, I used to work at a game store, and I stopped working there in a bit of a, like, I guess, controversial way. Like, it was not a good separating of me quitting my job there.
You gave them the 2
So-
days notice. I quit today.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was like the same day. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that's
So,
like today, like 2 day
yes,
notice. Yeah.
2 day notice. Yeah, exactly. So then I don't go to that. That's my local shop that I used to work at. So I don't go there anymore. I don't want to support them anymore. And so I stopped going to tournaments there, and we had nowhere to do tournaments. And like I still wanted to do tournaments. So we set up like a whole stream setup at my house, and we started inviting people over to do tournaments. And it just seemed correct to start casting it. So I started casting with, my own locals, like playing games and on our own little channel. And that's really how I started.
Yeah. Any plans to bring back WAP down?
Heck yeah. Once
Let's
I
go.
move,
Let's
I'm
go.
moving early next year, or like in the first couple months, I think, of next year. So, once we, well, I guess I would have to find locals though, in order to bring that back where I'm moving to. So
We have the time is a question.
yeah, no, I think so. I think we could make the time. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
If I brought some more people on board to help out, I think so. I would love to play in them though as well. So not just cast them. So that's the only issue, is like I know how to run the setup, so it'd be more about teaching someone else how to do like the casting and the setup, because it's actually a lot of work behind the screen. So
Yeah, I've done one of our locals. I would drive an hour every week to go do it in Ashtabula,
To
Ohio.
cast?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so some of those VODs exist on YouTube, and we did them live on Twitch and then chopped them up and edited them and moved them over. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I miss doing it. My laptop kind of gave up on me a little bit, so I can't do it for the moment. But, eventually.
I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, the graphics card on the laptop's dying, so it can't quite handle the streaming.
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of essential. Yeah.
Yeah, and nice laptops now run a little bit out of the budget. So
Yeah, I see.
Just get rich. It's not that hard.
cool. Let me flip a
Make
coin.
money.
Yeah, let me flip a coin. Oh, tails. Sorry, not today. Not in the cards for me.
But no, so casting isn't something that just happened upon you. Actually, just you were doing it for a while. And how'd you get contacted by TPCI about it?
I just got a message in my Twitter DMs that was like, "Hey boo, what's your business email?" And it was by DC, who organizes all of the like major events, so like the ICs, Worlds, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I just put like eyeball emoji, like what,
Yeah, that's pretty
and then
big.
obviously provided my email, and then that's how. And they asked me to cast NAIC, and I was like, oh my god, because imagine starting casting not only for Pokemon but NAIC. Like, are you serious? That's huge.
Yeah, that's big. That's really big.
It's huge. Yeah, I was
like
so
you said,
nervous.
last weekend was your first regional because you did NAIC.
Yeah, and then
You did Worlds. You didn't do a regular, just plain old regional. I mean, is there a big difference between the three or what?
Oh yeah, for sure. Regionals are way more chill. I enjoyed the regionals so much. It's a lot less work because at the ICs they do hair and makeup and stuff. You have to be there super early to do all of that. There's a way more intricate setup as far as like the camera people. They have multiple cameras you have to look at. It's just and it's a lot more work. You do a lot more casting. So the regional was like a billion times more chill. Our calls are super late because we don't start casting till round 4. So it's like, I think our call time was like 10:15 or something, which usually I'm waking up at like 5 a.m. for ICs. So yeah,
not
very
starting
chill.
not starting until like round 4 and 5 technically. Like definitely has to make it easier on everybody too.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And we only stream 1 top 8, 1 top 4, and then finals.
Yeah,
So it's
instead
like
of all of them.
super chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I go to regionals and play, I see a lot more casters on the floor at regionals than I have at like ICs and Worlds and whatnot. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was absolutely dead after NAIC and Worlds, like just absolutely exhausted. At least, you know, after Peoria, I was able to actually go out and like have some fun and, you know, sing karaoke.
We seen the tweet.
Look like you're having a good time.
For context, we want to tell them what happened at the Peoria finals, where you found yourself, and what song you found yourself singing.
Oh gosh, there's a lot more to that story, honestly, than just singing the Pokemon theme song at karaoke. That was so hilarious. That little karaoke bar was like in the Twilight Zone. It was so weird. It was a tiny little room too. And it was funny because it wasn't even like I was there with like other casters or anything. No one wanted to go with me to go to this karaoke party. It was supposed to be like the staff that was working the event, like, you know, the people running the production and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the casters obviously are staff too. But nobody came except for like the tournament or the entire event's like organizers and like the Arcanine, the folks that run Arcanine labs and stuff like that. So it was all like, you know, older folks, you know, the people who were running the entire event, and then just like me and Phoebe, who's one of the Go casters, were the only people there. Aside from that,
was AJ there? Did AJ come and sing?
I don't know. I'm not sure actually.
Oh man,
I don't know. But it was like it was pretty much like partying with like parents. Yeah, we were partying with parents. So me and Phoebe.
That's funny. That's awesome.
That was it. Yeah, it was great. I mean, they were awesome.
They're having a good time.
They're so
it's a
great.
good time. We're hanging out. This is cool. And you're like, it's like hanging out with my parents. Like mom and dad are in here. Come on, mom, get over here, dad.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, I don't know because I actually really fit in quite well, and I had some really cool conversations. We got some drinks going, you know. We sang some karaoke song. It was actually really great. Like I might just hang out with all the parents of the event now instead of the casters who just want to ditch me to Cube, you know?
Oh man, I mean, like when I get to the bottom tables at like an event, the pokey parents are the best. Like you'll hit that like round 8 dad who just doesn't care at all, having a good old time. He's just like eating a bag. This is pre-pandemic, no, you know, so he's just like pulling out a bag of chips and eating at the table, like just doesn't care.
Yeah, no, I love it. Pokey parents, all the organizers were amazing too, super awesome people. So I was very happy with that, and we sang the Pokemon theme song together as a group. It was great.
That's awesome.
That clip was perfect. That clip was priceless. That was great.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So, what originally got you into content creation?
I started Twitch streaming actually, and then I merged into full-time Twitch streaming, and then variety streaming from there, and then I ported over when Pokemon Let's Go came out. That was like the first like Pokemon game I really ever played, and I really enjoyed it. And then I like got into the cards, collecting the cards, and then playing the cards. And then at that point, I was like, you know, I'd rather make curated content rather than live streaming. So I had just gotten partnered on Twitch, but I just wasn't enjoying it very much. Versus like I loved editing and such, so I just made the jump.
No thanks.
Exactly. Yeah, I pretty much gave up a partnered Twitch channel for a 300 sub YouTube channel, and I was like, whatever, we're gonna work with it. And I stopped Twitch streaming pretty much completely, and I started bartending at like a local bar, obviously to pay my bills, barely. And and yeah, it just went from there. Kind of just made a leap of faith for my personal enjoyment of content creation. So yeah, and it just happened to go very well.
That's awesome. Yeah, not everybody has that opportunity to do it, and then sometimes it is a huge risk. I lost my job at the peak of the pandemic, and I streamed on Twitch full time for a whole year, and it was scary. It was scary because some months I'd make a couple $100, and some months I'd be able to pay all my bills. So
Yeah.
how
It's very
anybody can do it, especially with like what Twitch has been doing recently.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to them. They're troopers.
And I didn't even leave Twitch completely because of the company. Like they were making some bad decisions already back then, and I wasn't even fully leaving because of that. It was more of the culture around Twitch and like the way you had to be to succeed on Twitch. I just didn't really fit that mold, and I wanted to be more myself, and I was able to do that on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
It's not for everyone.
it was an easy switch for me.
Twitch isn't for everyone. YouTube's not for everyone. And then you got to find what, get in your lane. Where do you fit? Which one you fit better with. So yeah, I completely respect that.
Yeah, it's awesome though that you were able to make it, and look at you now casting for official events. 100,000 subs, play button, like it's awesome though. It's really cool.
He's too busy for Waptown Entertainment though. Boo, people are craving Waptown. They want to come back. They're waiting for Waptown Entertainment. They're foaming at the mouth for it.
We even have the sweet playmat too, with the Oranguru in the middle. It's so good. I know. I can't wait to bring it back. Yeah, it says like WDE with the logo. It's so legit. Like, I think our stream setup is one of the best for sure in the community. I would love to bring it back.
You guys heard it here first. Frosted Caribou says her stream setup is better than Andrew Mahomes. You guys take it here off the Gust pot. Dang.
Fight me, Tricky Jim.
He doubled down into it. Normally I make these claims, and people are like, no, I didn't say that. Don't tweet it. Don't clip this. But you doubled down. I like her.
Oh, this true. I didn't think someone was gonna clip it. Oh no. Wait. Back it up. I forgot how to. Oh wait, we're on YouTube.
Yeah,
you can clip on YouTube now.
Yeah, they just added clips. Oh Lord.
Not like
Frosted
this.
Caribou wants to fight Tricky Jim.
Let's organize one of those, like the boxing matches? Boo and Andrew Mahone.
9-card TCG. 9-card wants to fight me for some reason. So I said, I'm down. Let's do it.
Oh, Nick?
Yeah, Nick wants to fight.
I would not want to fight Nick.
Nope.
Doesn't he fight like professionally?
We stayed together for Baltimore, and he force fed me brownies. He told me, you're gonna eat this brownie and you're gonna like it. And I did like it. But
I'm upset with Nick because Nick promised me cookies and showed a picture of the cookies in our little group chat we had, and then never brought me the cookies. So I'm also trying to fight Nick.
Well, I mean, he and I and a few other people are in a little hidden part of the Discord server. I'll add you to it afterwards, and you can come in and harass him.
Ooh,
he won't know. He won't know. You'll catch him completely off guard.
Yeah, I'll do the secret.
Boo, you're here? Yeah. Now what?
Yeah, I'm here to
pay up. Where's the cookies?
Yeah, punch you for the cookies.
he made cookies at NAIC, and they were the bomb. And then
that's what I was talking about for NAIC.
Yeah,
he promised me cookies.
And the brownies he made for Baltimore were really good.
Yo.
So he's somehow master of jiu-jitsu, but also like a culinary baking expert. Man of a million talents.
Many talents.
Seriously, yeah. Dang.
Yeah, I think 9-card is supposed to fight everyone. It's supposed to fight myself. You want to fight him? I think our boy Sunny, the real Sunny Games, wants to fight him too. So, Dubin, you want to fight Nick while you're at it, or
God no, no, I don't. I don't want to be a can of cream corn. They'll beat me into a pulp. I'm just saying.
Boo, I don't know if you noticed, but this isn't your typical podcast.
No, it's very chill.
Yeah, we don't have a strict regimen we stick to in a strict schedule, and whatever happens, whatever comes out.
This is dangerous though, because I could talk for hours on here. I'm telling you.
Ooh. tell the deeds. Drop the dirt.
Yo, chill.
Let's hear it.
Wait, are we done with the rapid fire questions? Was that
it?
I don't even know where we were at.
I think.
Oh, that was just questions about me. I think now.
Yeah.
We're done with them.
Yeah. We're just wrapping it.
I mean, those questions weren't. I mean, those answers weren't very rapid. We kind of went into
details
and started talking.
True. Yeah. Sorry.
So it wasn't really. I don't know if we took 6 prizes in one turn. We probably took 6 prizes in a course of like 12, 13 turns.
So longer than a typical Pokemon game. It's fine. No big deal. It's good times. So with Peoria, with Tord taking the win with Lost Box, how do we see that top 8 metagame shift into SLC?
That's a good question. I think, so the finals match, I didn't think got to really showcase the match very well. I mean, we obviously know the second
Poor
game.
Cal. Our boy
Yeah.
Cal.
Yeah, poor
Our boy
Cal.
Cal.
Indeed, that was quite the donk. That's for sure. So
Mhm.
I don't know if that really showcased that match, and I think that Palkia still has like a pretty strong standing like in the meta. I'm hoping not. I hope everyone ditches Palkia because I genuinely don't want to cast it anymore.
Wait, time out. What's wrong with Palkia? It's just,
I mean,
the
there's
mirror
nothing wrong
matches
with it.
is,
It's
I
just
give you that. The
very.
mirror matches, but
Oh
Palkia
yeah, for
versus
sure.
anything
On the
else? What's
mirror
wrong with
match.
that?
It's just that it's very like it's definitely not linear. That is not the word because it's not linear. There's a lot of different things you can do with that deck, but it's very predictable in a sense, depending on what deck they're going against. Like you usually always know, okay, they're gonna Drizzle for this, they're gonna Inteleon for this, they're gonna scoop up here, search for this, get all the pieces they need. You can always kind of add up what they're gonna be doing. Versus like these Lost Zone decks and such,
Okay.
it's more
I get it.
suspenseful because it's kind of random what they're having to choose and the routes that they have to take after that. It's a little bit more entertaining than a Palkia is to cast for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure
So-
after Palkia mirror match after Palkia mirror match, it definitely probably weighed on your soul a little bit there in the booth.
Yeah. When you're saying
After
shady
that.
dealings every like 0.5 seconds, and yeah, I imagine it could also get a little bit bland for the viewers. So
Subspace
I would love to
swell,
see more
subspace swell,
variation.
subspace
Yeah,
swell,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how I feel about I guess I'll rant for a second. Everyone sit down for a second. I got okay. That's how I feel about Mew. I feel like Mew is just extremely predictable.
I'd rather watch Mew than Palkia.
At least the games are quick.
What? I
True.
mean, that's true, but
They're either winning or losing.
By turn 2 usually.
Yeah, true.
all you hear is Fusion Strike System, Fusion Strike System, Fusion Strike System, Fusion Strike
Yeah.
System. That doesn't get annoying. That's not annoying to you guys.
No, I don't think so because it's still random.
It's just
With
me.
Palkia, they get to access their entire deck and search for exactly what they need. So there's no suspense in that.
I get what you mean. Like it's not as exciting as like hoping to hit the right cards off the top of the
Exactly.
deck.
Yeah. You know how many times you're like, oh, is it gonna be a heads or a tails? Casting Mew, and you get to like have that hype, that suspense, and then or like, oh, are they gonna draw this off of like the last card they need off this last Fusion Strike system? So
But
it
they're
is
drawing
definitely
20
bland in
cards a
other
turn.
senses.
It's gonna happen, right? No matter it's
It's
inevitable.
gonna
It's like
happen.
Thanos. It's gonna happen. It's like Thanos. They're drawing 20 cards a
Hey,
turn.
I don't think Andre Chasen would agree with you on that one.
Oh man.
He got into
Flashbacks to
top 8. I
World.
was happy for him. Like, hey, Andre, congrats, you did it. I said, I'm happy it ended like that, but you did it. I'm sad it ended like that, but you did it. I'm happy you did it though. You got there, top 8.
It was quite sad. I know. I said the same thing. I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, great job," and he was like, "I would have loved to like play the game.
Play the
That would have
game,
been
yeah.
cool." Yeah. I was like,
It was nice to
"Ugh,
play.
true. Too soon." Yeah.
Last night at locals, I was playing Zoroark, which I'm bullying everybody with in my local meta, and I ran into a Palkia deck, and I was expected to be a good game. She bricked both games. She couldn't
Oh
get a Drizzle
wow.
out to save her life. I'm like, it's a Drizzle deck. You can't. It's Inteleon engine. You can't get Drizzle.
I mean,
And she bricked twice.
when
I mean, we watched that happen with Cal too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
that's true.
that deck
Yeah.
bricks it's not just a brick, it's a brick wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a brick house.
Oh.
He had to attack me with a Manaphy.
Sorry, I was singing the song in my head.
House.
Oh Lord. No,
Yeah,
I mean
was
like
with a Manaphy last night. It was weird.
I get it though. Just like the fact that like it whatever happens is completely, at the RNG taking the wheel versus just all right, cool, I'll search for this.
You're like,
I'll
hey,
do
pre-map
this.
the turn, so it's like we already know. And then a lot of it is also like they're shuffling and stuff, So
Yeah. I'll give you the shuffling. I'll give you that part.
I think the most exciting thing to happen in a Palkia. I mean, I guess the like cross switchers turns are somewhat exciting, but also like you know it's happening because they're searching out the cross
It sounds like you're trying to talk
switchers.
yourself and being excited about something. I guess the cross switchers, maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess, baby. I mean, you can't beat when Yoshi used a Ranguru Primate Wisdom for a boss's order, the last card needed. Like on the last turn that it was able to win the game as well. Like that's just like that's Pokemon right there. You know, Shady Dealings is just kind of it's good. I'm not saying it's a bad deck. It's a great deck, but it's bland for sure to watch.
If you're looking for some fun RNG, can I interest you in Ampipom?
Oh, I already play a deck with Ambipom.
There we go. I like you again. Okay, this is fine. Okay.
Yeah, that was one of his flavors of the week was Ambipom.
Wait, what do you use it with?
Cherim.
Oh,
Ambipom,
okay.
Cherim. I had a Radiant Charizard in there. My first week I went like 3, 2, and 1. I was like, I can actually win games with this. I'm gonna bring it again. And then the next week I went like 1 and 4 or whatever it was at locals, and I became public enemy number 1. Everyone hated me. I was cussed out. I got flipped off 3 times. Whenever someone like people was fist pump like knocking out a 90 HP Ampipom, like yes, I killed it. Yes, it died.
Yeah,
you suck. I hate you. I hate you. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, Whimsicott.
Whoa.
Whimsicott GX vibes.
Oh
Whimsicott
yeah,
vibes. Big time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Whimsicott.
see, I use Ambipom in a deck that is not very good. I'm still trying to perfect it and make it good, but it's not good so far.
I got a list for you. I gave it to Pokemon, and she didn't do very well with it. She took a couple cards out and just. I love Emmy, but apparently she can't play the Ampipom. But I got a list if you need one.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. I can rock the Ambipom for sure. I use it with the Loopy Lasso, Venusaur.
Oh, from
You know what I'm
Pokemon
talking
Go?
Yes.
The one that's like a automatic Gust. That one.
Yeah.
Well, it's not automatic. It's a coin
Oh,
flip.
it's not
So
automatic, but
still very RNG. That is
just
for
flipping
sure.
all over the place. Just
Exactly. So you just lead
flips.
Ambipom, and then you set up multiple Venusaurs with rare candies. And then all you're doing the entire game is blocking them from being able to attack you, but you're also loopy lassoing all their Pokemon, so they have to burn like all their switch out cards over and over and over again. If they don't have any, they're
Cool.
stuck. And then even
cool.
if they do get the switch out, they still have to flip a coin whether or not the attack actually goes through. So very annoying to deal
That's
with.
cruel.
Yeah.
I had an attacking Ampipom deck, and people got annoyed with that too because I would, I flip coins for the attack, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Stop flipping heads!" I'm like, "Sorry." I knocked out one guy in sudden death of game 3. I flipped 7 heads in a row and won, and he was so hot, and
Oh,
I was so just excited, just like yeah, it was so fun. So I get the RNG, I get that.
that's how I feel whenever someone plays the popsicle card. I'm like, man,
Oh,
why do they
everyone
keep
gets behind
flipping
that. That's
heads
fine.
over and over and over?
Oh, with like
Yeah,
some
but-
Stonejourner and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucky
Yeah.
Ice Pop. Everyone gets behind that, right? No one hates Lucky Ice Pop.
I mean, I do.
If it's on the other end of the table and they keep flipping heads, then yeah, I hate it too.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah.
Oh, you
it's
just healed
like,
280 damage off your 330 HP Stonejourner? Oh.
exactly. It's so bad. Oh, you just like quit the game after that, with like one pop too. You use one card to heal 200 plus damage.
They heal it all off, and it still goes back to their hand anyway.
And they can still
know,
play
right?
a supporter.
Different, yeah.
Exactly. That card is whack.
Yeah, that's insane.
I like that. I like coin flips, except for Tremormatic.
What about Crushing Hammer?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
But no,
man.
so down at Peoria, there was nothing fun like that. It was.
Oh, there was some fun. You saw the
What
Vikavolt
was
deck?
it?
Mhm.
The Vikavolt? I'd say that's pretty fun. That's a stall deck though, so.
So let's get into some details about it then. What was Give us some of the
Oh.
behind the scenes things we couldn't see that you saw.
Well, I only saw it because we're like the first day, we're trying to figure out who's playing some cool stuff because if they continue to succeed throughout the day, then we obviously want to have them on stream because it's a cool new deck sort of thing or something that's fresh, I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't think that was one. Pretty much once you take a tie, like you don't even have to take a loss. If you take a tie, you're not going to be on stream because we only take undefeateds up until the win and ends. Once we're at the win and ends, then we start taking win and ends because that's exciting. It's like,
That's
oh,
fun stuff,
you win
yeah.
and you're in. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, there's this Vikavolt deck. I don't even think it took a loss when we were looking at it, but I think it took a tie. But I don't remember exactly what was in it, but I know it was like I'm pretty sure it was like a Vikavolt with Lost Box cards in it as well. I don't know. I didn't see the full list, but it was it was a stall. A stall deck. So I mean, it locks your item cards, and there was a little bit of banter before Peoria about potential Vikavolt lists, and this was the only one I saw that was actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, people definitely hyped it up. They hyped up Empoleon, which kind of like fell on its face a little bit with the Path to the Peak and the Lost Box.
I mean, okay, so, but you all didn't see when the Empoleon was working, because I can't tell you how many like tables I walked across where someone started Empoleon playing against, they're either playing Reggie or Lost Box, and they couldn't do anything, so they were winning.
Attach pass.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, the Empoleon's a very controversial thing, and especially when so many decks are like teching against it with the canceling Cologne, and you know, I mean, Towards List played like 18 switching cards and stuff too. You could just get escape roped and get rolled. So I don't think one Empoleon really makes sense. I think you'd have to commit to two, but it's just hard to like, it's like, do I make that commitment to two Empoleon that I have to get out first turn just to block and change my entire play style, or do I just cut the two Empoleon and play better cards in my deck and win more matches? You know what I mean?
So. Yeah, you're right.
And then, you know, they were playing Path of the Peak too. So like, if they didn't have the switch cards, then they had the Path of the Peak, and
it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And like Tord played Double Blower, I believe, to be able to
3, I think.
The Lost Vacuums.
In my head, I'm thinking Field Blower, like old habits from forever ago. But yeah, being able to just like get rid of the stadium, put an extra card in the Lost Zone. Oh, cool! I have 8. I can get rid of my own path. I can go to 10 now and then have a good time. It's kind of crazy.
I was playing last night. I was playing Zoroark, of course. I'm gonna keep talking about Zoroark.
More Zoroark propaganda.
I was playing Zoroark, and the list I play, I cream Mew, I blow through Palkia, whoever it is. I lose if there's a Miltank. I just lose automatically. If there's a Duraludon, not much I can do. And then Lost Box, I struggle with mightily. So I played a guy playing Lost Box, and it was Towards List. And I was like, here we go. Because I knew the list, and it's a good list. He has, you know, it's like four of every switch out. And in my mind, when I saw that, it's like, why don't people do this anyway? And then Tort did it, and now everyone else is doing it. But I'm like, it was 4 of every switch out, and he's just switching back and forth, and he's jamming. And one turn I only had did I have a Mew in play? It was just Mew. I played Mew in my list. It's just a regular just Mew sitting out there. And that's all I can get out. I said, hey, if you got the cram, go for it. And no, I had 2 Mew. I'm sorry. I said, if you get the it was his second turn. I said, if you can get the Sableye, go for it. And he's jamming, he's moving back and forth, and he's lost vacuuming his own tool cards and his stadiums, and he's like, got it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, play some damage counters. You did it. You won. So I struggle against that Lost Box, but it's such a good list. And
it's very good. Yeah. I think it's very good. Honestly, if I was going to SLC, I'd probably be playing Duraludon. Straight up. Duraludon's so good in my eyes. I love Duraludon. I don't think enough, like nobody plays it either. And I feel like
I think there might have
matches.
I think Limitless did get a lot of the day 2 lists up, and I think there were a couple Arc Duraludons, but not too many. I'm gonna scroll through real quick and see, but I think there's at least 1 or maybe 2 total. 31st placed Ellie Greenfield played Arc Duraludon, and then
that's sick.
there was an Arc Aggron 71st place, which is in the same vein.
Similar.
Sackett Bremer 77th with Arc Duraludon, and
Sackett played
and he had
Duraludon.
Yeah, he had Colress in his list, I believe, as well.
Heck yes. So yeah, that's what I'd be playing for sure.
So yeah, there were a couple big Arc medley.
I just like Duraludon like as a deck though. I've always loved it. So it's my jam.
I was a Duraludon main too. I like Duraludon.
Me too. I like the card. It's very, very chill. I mean, you don't like it when it's bricking though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, I've never played this Stone. Well, actually, I played Stonejourner online. I feel like that one would be much worse in paper though. But Duraludon seems to work better for me in paper than it does online most of the time.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid deck. Yeah, so that's your SLC pick.
Gazer, that's what I
Gazer,
that's what
if
I
you were gonna play, what would you?
Too.
If you were gonna go to SLC, would you play Zoroark? Clearly.
Why are you
Yeah, of
asking a
course.
question know the answer to? What are you doing? Come on. We all know the answer. Of course.
Okay, you're playing Ambipom, sorry.
Ambipom.
And then Sableye just knocks out everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta play for Parasol at that point then. We're gonna get to the point of quad Parasol in any deck that's a single prizer that is not Lost Box. That'd be ridiculous at that point.
They can just lost vacuum that too.
Yeah.
It's just gone, and that just helps them out. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, that
Yeah.
Zoroark list, play 2 Parasol, play the Sharon's Care. That I might copy that Zoroark list. I enjoy mine, but that one's really nice too. From Peoria, the weekend's over now. We've seen the decks are out, the leaks are there. What do you guys take from that? What do you guys think is going to happen with the meta?
It's hard to say. There's always somebody who comes up with something after a big result. Like, we look at the past, we saw Urshifu come out when everybody thought it was dead to dominate one event and then not make a wave afterwards. So who knows what people will ultimately decide to play. But you'll definitely see more Palkia, more Lost Box, more Giratina, maybe some Zoroark, maybe some Goodra. But there's always tons of options.
That'd be kind of fun for the Gouda breakthrough. That'd be cool.
I think we're more likely to see more Giratina. Because I think Giratina is easier to play than the Lost. I mean, they're both Lost Box decks, but the Giratina version I think is easier to play than the Lost Box Tord version.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd say so because you have more options. You're not always working with like the one prizers. You have the Giratina to take a lot of wins off of like other weird decks you're gonna run into. Obviously, we saw John Ang play it differently without the Giratina against the Lost Box, so you have that variation as well that you could do. John made some weird decisions that I think you could play it much differently than he played it. He was thinking of different lines, I think, focusing on different things. So I think you could play it better versus Lost Box. And who knows, if John had won that, Tord wouldn't have won the event, obviously, because John would have been in it instead. So
yeah,
you never know how the cookies crumble.
Well, like Steuben said, you can't flush the Tord, apparently.
Come on, it's funny, man.
Tord's great. Yeah, I was happy. I mean, that was my first time ever casting Masters finals. I've done juniors and seniors, so having Tord in my first ever Masters final cast was great. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything better. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that again, feel bad for Cal, but that turn was just so exciting to watch, like the sequence of events and just like to hear you two just go at it, like it was insane. It was awesome. I was on the edge of my seat, like.
Yeah, it was probably like one of the best moments of the whole thing, and it was right at the end too, so it's perfect. Yeah, I do feel bad for Cal.
How was Cal reacting while that was happening?
Well, yeah, very upset. I mean, we saw like the head shaking and like the like, what do you do? When RNG is not on your side, that's for sure. But yeah, and honestly, that's why I actually even thought, I was like, and I mentioned it in the cast, I was like, I wonder if Cal chose to go first or second, because there is a world where you play it super duper safe and go second instead of first.
Use your supporter, hopefully get something else out.
Yeah, and so that you can't get donked by the cram. Exactly. Like, that would be the exact reason. But, it's just so low percentage that is going to happen, and it just happened to Cal. I felt so bad. But Cal has been succeeding at so many events in the last season and heading into the season already. So I don't think we're going to see the last of Cal at
definitely
all.
Not.
He's had Cal on the pod last season. And that was right after, what was that after, Sue? Was that Milwaukee?
No, it was before Milwaukee.
Before Milwaukee, okay.
I think it was
we had Cal on.
Not Secaucus. Had to have been.
Was it Salt Lake?
Had to have been Salt Lake. Had to have been.
So like beginning of the season then.
Yeah. So we had Cal on, and he was doing well then, and then ever since then he's just been doing even better and better and more betterer and
betterer. Yeah, he's doing great. He's a great player.
Yeah, definitely on an absolute tear. Definitely not going to stop playing. I think. I mean, like, it's a big difference in points, and sure, $2,500, but still, like, second place is still nothing to scoff at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Like,
definitely
that's
not.
still
especially at the largest
run.
event.
And we keep having the largest event almost every event. It's
bigger and bigger.
breaking records
The
here. For
growth of the
sure.
game recently has just been absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think
And-
Salt Lake's going to be smaller because it's more towards one coast, one area.
I actually was considering that too. I don't think it's going to be smaller though.
No?
I feel like a lot of people were at Salt Lake last time, right?
Well, I think that was the very first event back, and
It
everyone's just
was.
excited to come back. Yeah, so everyone's just like, "Oh, Pokemon, gotta play!" So I think now Salt Lake, everyone's like, that's kind of far to go that far. We could wait for something else. So I don't know if that's gonna be that big.
Well, Salt Lake is our last event for a while though.
Yeah, there's nothing in
Next
November.
is no LAIC is going to be November, but yeah,
Yeah.
obviously that's in Brazil.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see a lot of people have the funds to travel that. But
Tour make
yeah,
there somehow.
so we might see people go to SLC just because it's the last one for a hot minute, and then the next one after that is Toronto too. So it's like people might not be able to go to Toronto.
True.
Usually traveling to Canada is a bit expensive. So
Is
true, too.
Toronto within Silver Tempest? Because I know pre-release is the end of the month. So yeah, it has to be. Oh yeah, because it's December. Yeah, so there's only SLC is the last Lost Origin regional.
wow, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
get it. I mean, Lost Origin had a delay, and they don't want to delay Silver Tempest, so it makes sense. Unlike Digimon, where they delay one set and they inevitably delay every other set because of it. So we're not gonna stand down. Give us our Pokemon cards.
What has happened? Happened last year too. What set was delayed, and then they eventually got back. Was it Battle Styles?
Mm-hmm. I think
Then
Battle
last year,
Styles
got pushed back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we got back on track, and then Lost Origin got delayed by a couple weeks, and now we're gonna get Silver Tempest out. So there's gaps, there's hit and misses, and they're like, okay, we're back on track. So I mean, it's been a tough last 2 years though. So
true.
Yeah, there we go. In the chat, SLC is at 920 for registration for TCG. So definitely not small.
Before fall?
I mean, we were
it's
talking
at
about
920 right now.
We're talking.
Is it already closed? It's not closed, right?
I don't think it's closed. I don't think it's closed.
It's on the 14th through the 15th, 16th.
Yeah, next weekend.
17th. Yeah, next weekend.
Next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So not too big of a gap, but then big gap in North America afterwards.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Silver Tempest, except for all the secret rares being already leaked out and whatnot. That's kind of ridiculous.
I somehow always miss the leaks, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any.
Someone had product and cracked it on a YouTube stream.
So
like it's all out there, and like the set list from the starter decks and everything.
I'm sure that person's getting into legal trouble now. That's
Probably,
definitely not something you want to do. That's for sure.
But like we saw things that we didn't even see from like Japanese set releases yet.
Oh yeah,
because the second half of it I think hasn't dropped for them yet either.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're getting pretty close to parity with Japanese releases then apparently.
Yeah, the format is quite close now.
Well, I think that's what they're aiming for after they after they pushed back rotation and everything, right?
Like lining up with Japan format.
Yeah, I mean that'd be really cool to have a more global connected community, especially now with Worlds being in Yokohama. That's a big thing.
True.
That's true.
But this has been the master plan from the very beginning, from like a year and a half ago.
I mean, it could be.
Well, I feel like if the pandemic and stuff didn't happen, I think Yokohama would have happened for 25th anniversary, right? So I think
a lot of sense.
I think that makes sense. Like they probably were planning on that, and then obviously it didn't work out. But yeah,
and
then I don't know.
That.
The theme would have maybe been just celebrating 25th anniversary potentially. I don't know.
Because that intro trailer for Yokohama was red and blue.
Yes.
Yeah. I okay. That's a very good.
You're probably
the theory. The theories.
Yeah. It's not just a theory; it's a game theory. No, that's solid. That's a very good way to think about it. Mm-hmm. So I wonder then what would have been technically this year's, since we took a 2-year break.
That's true. Well, a lot of people thought it was going to follow the game again because London and Gala region matched. But then it's like, then they have to follow the game after that, right? Because then it's like, oh, if we get a new game, it's in a new place. It's like, are you not going to do it in that place? You know what I mean? So
maybe next year we'll see Spain after, well, not next year, 2 years from now technically, because it's 2024. Maybe I mean Worlds in Spain.
Tell you what though, bringing it back to the States is gonna be pretty lame now. Having all these cool places that you get to travel to. But I
Went
know
from
people
London
are.
to Japan, and now I'm in New York or LA.
I know, right?
And normally it's like,
Nashville.
oh yeah, New York, LA. Now it's like, wow, LA, New York,
Yeah, right.
Ohio.
Okay.
I'm in
I mean,
Ohio.
the themes they've done for like Nashville and DC, those were super awesome.
Oh yeah, I see the
DC
Nashville stuff.
was
Yes.
so cool. Yeah, Nashville's cool too. I really liked the backpacks from DC. I was sad I didn't get to go or get one.
Would have been
Yeah.
I love the fossil Pokemon statues that they put up, and that was
Yeah.
that was a big deal then too, because that was the first like Go event attached to it. Even though it wasn't like the
True.
circuit, it was just like that invitational. And now look at Go rolling deep.
Rolling deep for sure. Yeah, the Go casters are really cool too.
R.I.P. to Pokin.
Oh yeah,
that's
definitely
all.
R.I.P.
That's all done with now. Yeah.
Pokin. Sadness. I hope we get some more Unite as well. I think integrating more Unite would be sweet.
I like that idea too. I can see that.
Yeah, Unite's bomb. It's very fun to watch. That's
Mhm.
for sure.
I think it's easier to like for new people to get into Unite than it is to TCG at a high level versus Go and whatnot too.
Even
I don't
BGC and
know.
Worlds
Go
too.
is pretty hard to get into though,
Mhm.
because Go is like you have to catch the right Pokemon, and
Yeah.
so you have to be playing it. It's like huge time consumption.
You need all
I
the
could say,
Stardust.
You have to hit certain events. You have to hit certain times
yeah,
where you can evolve and get a certain move. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, huge time consumption for sure. TCG is more like someone could give you a deck the night before, and you could play it and
because
theoretically do really
Yeah.
well potentially. You know what I mean?
A good way.
Depending on what you hit and stuff. So obviously you're gonna do better if you practice a lot with it and know exactly how it works. But the possibility's there to do well with it. Go is like if you don't have a good team, like you're just gonna get rolled.
Yeah, all the memes of tap tap tap, but there's a lot more to it than that though too. There's definitely some deep like thoughts about switching and move pulls and
That is, yeah, that was one thing I was just so heavily disappointed in the TCG community for engaging in that discourse with the tap 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 thing.
Twitter
yeah.
is a is a whole different thing sometimes.
It just shows you how hypocritical some people are with like choosing what they will and will, like choosing when they get to like bully people essentially, you know what I mean? It's pretty jacked up. Cause it's like, yeah, even if the dude was like roasting our community and stuff, because I don't even remember what it was about. It was saying that we like the
He said
TCG
it took
community is
more
like,
skill to play.
oh
Wasn't it
yeah,
skill? Was it skill? He said.
I think something similar to that.
something like that. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he has
Even
more
even if
skill.
he was like roasting us or whatever, it's like just making fun of him or saying tap 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 or whatever. Not only like degrades the game, but also like you're just stooping to the same level, So
Yeah, it doesn't push it in the right direction for anybody on
no,
either
it's a
side.
very easy thing for people to hop onto, and it was just like very telling when they did. It's like okay, cool,
Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Well, while we're talking about Twitter controversies, what about all of the cheating allegations? I know you've been a big
Cheating.
advocate of talking about it. So at this point in time, take it away. Tell people what you feel about
So
all of this.
So my thing of why I started thinking about the whole cheating discourse was because I saw how toxic the discourse was around the Irida for two item cards thing,
Hmm.
the Isaiah Bradner incident, and how like that devolved so heavily between people just talking about it. And it just was super unproductive. And I was like, man, how can we think of ways to make these conversations more productive? Because I do really think there needs to be more room to discuss cheating, and like whatever that involves in the community that doesn't devolve into like super toxic language and stuff like that. So then I was like, okay, well, let's think about different ways we could kind of talk about this. And I kind of came to this. It's like a theory, I guess you could say it's a mindset sort of thing. It's not in relation to the actual rules of Pokemon, because the actual rules of Pokemon say that cheating is tied to intentionality. So you have to intentionally do something that you're not supposed to be doing, essentially, to cheat. So you'd have to like purposely like evolve when you can't evolve that turn or something like that. So, but the whole thing with that is where the term cheating then actually applies in the Pokemon rules is in terms of deciding what type of penalty you get, right? Or how harsh of a penalty you get, because the judges then have to decide, okay, did they do this intentionally or not? It's all on the judges, but they have a lot more context to work with as well. They have the person's matches throughout the day, they have their history playing Pokemon or whatever. They have all of the context of the situation between both players and whatever happened with the incident. So when the cheating term is actually applied, it's completely up to the judges because they're the ones determining intentionality. And still, they can't technically, it's not like they can read someone's brain and tell if they did something intentionally or not. It's more of just like a judge call that they have
it's literally
to
a
make.
judge call. Yeah.
It's intuition on their part and based off that context that they have. So my whole thing was that technically everyone's talking about cheating incorrectly anyway, because none of us are judges. None of us are handing out penalties. None of us have the context. So when someone, like, let's say they get DQ'd or something, and they determine like, oh, well, they were DQ'd for this thing that the judges determined was intentional, so they're a cheater. And now we can call them a cheater, and we can like bully them and ostracize them from the community because they're a cheater. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think that discourse should belong in the hands of the community or like players, because we shouldn't be discussing intentionality because we're not judges. You know what I mean? So what happens and why the conversations devolve is because it doesn't become like, okay, well, what was played wrong? How can it be prevented? What needs to happen? Like, what do you need to, you need to call a judge. This is what you tell them and stuff. That's not any of the discussion that's happening. It always turns into like, okay, did this person do it purposely or did they not do it purposely? And then you just get two camps of people. And then it's very biased as well, because obviously you're not going to say like your best friend or whatever cheated on purpose because, oh, they're such a good person and blah, blah, they never do that and stuff. And then the whole discourse shifts away from what actually matters, which is the mistake that actually happened and how to like learn from it and educate people and move on from it. And it just goes into like, well, they're a good person. Well, they're not a good person. Oh, well, they should have got punished. Well, they shouldn't. Oh, they're a cheater. They're not a cheater.
Then you have someone bring up a story like, I played against them 4 years ago and they cheated this one time. I think they took an extra card when they shouldn't have off of the Dene, but I saw it. So they're a cheater for sure. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. People will dive in for their chance to get a little bit of Twitter clout out of anything.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
A couple extra likes. So man, I better tell my story.
Yeah, so that's my whole mindset, is divorce intentionality from these conversations as it belongs to community conversations. But if you're divorcing intentionality from the conversations itself, technically you're not discussing the Pokemon rules, because the Pokemon rules require intentionality. So what I was trying to say on Twitter was that the way we discuss cheating should be technically different from the rules, because we're not the people applying the rules with penalties and stuff. So you'd have to be working almost with a somewhat different definition of cheating, or not even necessarily that, but just leaving it out of the conversation of intentionality or whatever. But then people just turned it into like me trying to call everybody cheaters. And if you make a mistake in the game, you're like automatically should be labeled a cheater and stuff, which is actually like the opposite of what I'm saying. Technically, what I'm saying is like you normalize mistakes, and mistakes are going to happen, and you should know the exact process of what to go through, because this is what happens is like, also, this is an example that I found. I did a lot of like research as far as like reading into a lot of conversations online and how the conversations go, and like conversations with judges between players and stuff that are on Twitter from like a long time ago and recently as well. But there was like one discussion that happened that was like, this example got brought up where if you Marnie, like you're initiating the Marnie, but then your opponent accidentally draws 5 cards instead of 4. And the person was like, oh, but they're super cool. Like they've been a cool person. I've had good conversation with them or whatever. So I'm just going to tell them to not draw at the top of their turn. But technically, that's still broken game state. They still saw a card too soon, and now they have that information
towards what's happening. Yeah,
exactly. But because they introduced intentionality into the conversation. In this regards, it would be, oh, they didn't do this intentionally. Or yeah, so it's like they're saying they did it unintentionally, and that's just like how they read the situation. And now that's changing the way they're doing something, and it's still not in a good way. Like if the board state is broken, it should be looked at in a technical logistical sort of way, not from emotions and intentionality and that sort of way. So that's my opinion on it, because you shouldn't be saying they did this intentionally or they did this unintentionally, because it hurts both ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It can have a lot of discourse, especially when people are just uninformed, and you're not the player in that instance. You don't know the full scoop. You don't know what the judges are thinking either, and how they break down the penalty.
Yep. And they can't publicize any of that information either, so you're never gonna know.
No. The only people that know are the judges that are involved and the people who read the reports.
Yep. And the people in the situation,
mm-hmm.
which still, again, they could be feeding their friends and stuff, technically stuff that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's what happens, but it could happen. So you still could be getting incorrect information from your friend or whatever too, because they're going to have a biased point of view of the situation too. You know what I mean? And honestly, it divorcing intentionality from it too also helps you, because then you're not worried about like, oh, well, I didn't do this purposefully, but if I call a judge or, interrupt the gameplay because now I noticed it, but are they going to call me a cheater because of this and that? You know what I mean? And because the toxic discourse online is so like prevalent, people are literally scared to like fix game states and call judges and stuff because of that. And they don't want to be labeled cheaters and stuff. So it's like, I don't understand the adversity from people to not have these discussions in like healthier ways, because it only makes sense to me, because like whatever we've been doing up to this point has just led to like the worst case scenarios, where people are intentionally not calling judges, people are scared to be bullied and ostracized from the community, people are weaponizing the word to use against other people. It's just like super toxic, and I would love to start to change that discourse, but it's very difficult to do that when there's like pro players in my Twitter mentions trying to like misconstrue what I'm saying or put words in my mouth or like say or like paint a different picture than what I'm actually saying, because they're not actually listening to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Or they don't have the full context of what I'm saying. And that's what happened on Twitter. It was super toxic. And then it always somehow turns into like, oh, you're a TCG caster, like you shouldn't be doing this, like you should be fired because of this. Like so
yeah, you're allowed to speak your opinion. Like you do it. It's like a contract kind of basis, anyways. Like you're not a TPCI employee, correct?
No.
Yeah,
I'm contracted by a different company. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's not like you have to like abide by a certain like super closed handbook. You're allowed to have your opinion. Like people definitely don't get that sometimes, that like just because you've done something for someone once doesn't mean you work for that company. Like
not only that, but it's like I was stating over and over again, my intentions are to make healthier discourse. So it's like, why? Like it's weird. It's so weird when people are fighting that so hard. You know what I mean? I'm like, why? And then it just makes me think it's like, okay, well, it's just people are very comfortable with like what they're used to, and there's a lot of elitism in Pokemon. A lot.
There is. That's true.
A lot.
I think a lot of it also ties back to what you said earlier when you said people get polarized, either go to one side or the other. They cheated or they didn't mean to cheat. She meant it this way, or she didn't mean it this way. He did that or he didn't. Just things get polarized. And then you have people who are in the middle sometimes on the fence, but for the most part, Twitter polarizes people. They get an opinion. And I have a different opinion. I'm on this side. You're on that side, and it's tough to come back from that sometimes.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I just but at the end of the day, and I was getting mentions from people too, like, oh, Boo, are you really trying to change how people like think or whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm never going to be able to change how someone thinks about things. But if I can, if people are willing to listen to different ideas and concepts, and it turns out to be healthier from there, then like, heck yeah, I'm gonna keep bringing these things up, because like that's my end goal, is to make this a better community for everyone, not just the top 1% of players. You know what I mean?
I
Not
mean, if
just
you
the
look
people.
at like the information shift in Pokemon in at least the last 8 years, where everything was article based back in the day, people had to pay for paywalls. No one knew what anything was until the events have already happened half the time. I feel
That's
like
true.
that stigma of that, like that elitism, as you said, still exists today,
Oh,
even with like the rapid share of information, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Like there's content everywhere, but yet people still say that, oh, this person said it this way, this is the way to live by it.
yeah.
You're right. Now, yeah, okay. I see where you're going with that now. Okay, you're right. First, I was like, I disagree, but yeah, you brought it on home there. You're right.
It's
Well,
weird.
and that even happens with decks too. Like
Yeah.
people get so one-tracked with the deck or with the tech or something, and they're like, "No, this is not the way to play it." Like that was one thing I struggled with Duraludon. So many people said to me, like, if I took to heart what people say to me or whatever, I would never have played Duraludon, because people told me all the time, "Oh, this deck's trash. Oh, why'd you play that? It loses to this, blah blah blah." But I just liked the deck and I continued to play it because I enjoyed it. And then I'm at Worlds casting a Duraludon that's on a winning into top 8 of Worlds. You know what I mean? So it's like people get so like mob mentality around decks, especially too. And it happens in other aspects of the community, but that's just a great example of like, if you follow one path, if you follow like the herd of people and never kind of just go with what you want to do, you're going to end up in some sticky situations. And that's how we have a giant mob of people saying tap 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 to these pogo players. So it's like,
yeah, people are
I
allowed to
wanna
play the
change that.
game however they want to, whether you want to stay at home and play with theme decks, or just open up a league battle deck and go whatever.
Yeah.
People are allowed to play. Oh, you don't like Mewtwo V-Star? I love Mewtwo V-Star. I absolutely love Mewtwo V-Star. But it's bad cards, dude. You should never play it. Don't ever touch that card again.
I know that feeling. I've been criticized for playing Zoroark V-Star religiously for the last 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
I've taken a beating in my group chat I'm a part of, but I soldier on anyway.
Oh,
But no,
yeah.
no, you're exactly right, Stu. It's I've heard stories from our local judges around here about kids who just show up to regionals and like, hey, I want to play this deck, and it's just I think the story I heard was it was a expanded deck, had just everything was in there, and like, oh, it has to be standard. Like, what's standard? So they bought them like a theme deck, the Charizard one back in the day, the good one, and they just handed it to him. They're like, okay, we're gonna get you some sleeves. Like, I don't want sleeves. He just started shuffling, just started playing. It's like, and people were like judging a kid for that. I'm like, he's a kid. Let him do what he's a kid. Let him do it. So yeah, they say it can get real toxic. You didn't use the right sleeves. You didn't sleeve a certain way. That card should be sleeved. That you shouldn't play that card that way. Don't put your gold card in there. Go get a regular hollows. The elitism is real. You're right.
Yeah, that's where you'll see me lose I've ignored a lot of stuff
Oh,
on
that's right.
Twitter, and the most of the times if I like say something on Twitter, it's usually when it comes to like people telling others what to do or like how to enjoy this hobby or this game. That's what really like just makes me upset.
Yeah,
because
that whole instance was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to touch
honestly.
on that for a second? You had a situation, and Stu was
Oh,
right.
God.
It was crazy. It was ridiculous.
Oh wait, which one are you talking about? I actually don't know.
The unsleeved card in the
talking about
photo.
card sleeve.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the card sleeve one. Yeah, that's one example of that. That was that I think touched on a little bit of other things though, because I'm very much used to, and a lot of people don't understand this because they don't have the same experience as me, which I understand. But I've had this happen my whole life in different aspects of my life too, and I'm sure many women have had this happen too. Like Michaela, we talk about it a lot. She's a lawyer, and like this happens with her too. People kind of explain stuff to us that like we already know, or like they dumb stuff down for us that we know. Like I collect cards like as my profession, and I cast as my profession, and like I know how to take care of my cards, and the fact that like it's just assumed that I like don't, you know what I mean? It's just like, and it was like at the end of the day, even if he didn't assume that, it was just rude. Like it's just so rude to come onto someone's post and demand they do something. It's like, you never do that to my face. That's the big thing. Like, no, none of these people ever say this to my face. You know
No,
what I
they
mean?
want to use the anonymity of the internet to feel like a champion or whatever.
Yeah, and it was like a Unite player that like played at Worlds too on like one of the teams. So it wasn't just like a no one
Oh,
either.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I thought it was just,
Nah,
Yeah.
I didn't know
dude, I
that.
didn't
No.
know that.
I thought it was just some
No.
collector guy. That's what I thought.
No, it
Wow.
wasn't. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
He
know
was
that.
just he was a Unite player that like was like a pro Unite player or whatever and one of the teams at Worlds. Yeah.
Sheesh. That
So, wow,
that adds another level to that.
it does.
Wow.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also just like funny because so he comes on my post and like demands something of me, and that's what it was. Like he didn't word it like, "Hey, maybe
Read
you
that up.
should
Get
do
a top
this."
loader.
Yeah, no, he said
Yeah.
like put it in a sleeve before it gets damaged. ... You know what I mean? It's like there's very little ways you can interpret that. You know what I mean? So, but even then, I still just responded with like, or you could just not tell people what to do, like just an idea, you know. And so, if anything, I like our discourse was the same toward each other. But then who actually was getting a lot of the flack for it was me. They're just like, "Oh, he was just trying to give you advice. Oh, he was just being nice." And I'm like, "What?" Can you ever imagine walking up to someone and saying exactly what
Put
he
that in a
said
sleeve.
verbatim? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And people were bringing up examples. They're like, this happened at a pre-release. Someone pulled a really good card, and I was like, "Oh, you should sleeve that because it's so good." I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Totally different context, okay? That's not how he said this to me. That's not the context at all, you know." Plus, it was a card I was saying in the post that was super meaningful to me. So it's like, do you really think I would not like sleeve this card or take care of it if I'm saying how much meaning it holds? You know what I mean? It's just none of that made sense.
Nope, it's a drink
honestly.
coaster now. Just
Yeah.
oh, here's a big old glass of ice water. Oh, it's sweating all over your card. Oh, it's fine. You know, like
It's okay.
Yeah, that's why I made the joke. Like I was just gonna throw it in a blender after I took the picture, actually, because it makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
But
you took the picture.
yeah.
All the memories are in the photo now. It's fine. Don't you don't need the card anymore. It's
Ah,
just
perfect. I have this picture on my phone. Great.
But yeah, people just don't get it. They're always like, just be nicer to people and then blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, if you are getting a billion comments a day of people doing the same thing to you over and over and over again, then you'll understand like why I don't respond sometimes in the nicest, I'm gonna pad this comment as much as possible. Because when you're being rude to me, then I have every right. I don't even think it was rude what I said back to him, actually. I just said, like, you cannot tell people to do just an idea. You know what I
Just
mean?
gave him the
It's
same
like,
kind of energy, and he couldn't take it back.
yeah,
You
I
gave him the
wasn't even
exact same energy.
demanding it of him. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's
It wasn't
so
like a,
whack.
ooh, it's not like, it's different if you say, "Ooh, pretty." Are you gonna sleeve it up? Something like that. Ask a question, but he just
Yes,
put that in
that
the
would have
sleeve
been.
now. Do it.
Yeah, if he
And you
had
just gave him the same kind of energy.
Yeah, if he had come and said like, "Oh, like how are you protecting her?" Or like, "Yeah, oh, are you gonna sleeve it because it's super nice?" I would have
Mhm.
actually responded with saying, "I'm gonna frame it because that's what I'm doing with the card. Like I'm framing it with my world's badge, the staff badge, and like all my world's memorabilia because, like I said, it was a very meaningful event to me." And
Mhm.
but then it spun into a totally different conversation because then people were like, "Oh, she has this card that's worth like $2,000 graded and it's not sleeved." And that was not a conversation I was about to dive into.
Gotta
Like I
say,
made one tweet about it and I was like, all right, I'm logging off.
well, I gotta say, I don't know if you saw everything, but what that splintered into to other people, showing other cars, with some value, and they put them as
Oh
drink
yeah.
coasters, or they nailed them to the wall and stuff like that. And it also gave birth to our friend Pokey Emmy, and her movement, and her statements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A couple good things came out, some good memes at least, and then girl
Yes.
power. So some good things came out of it, but it was such a Twitter can be I said at the beginning of the segment, Twitter can be just ugh.
Yeah, definitely. It's
yeah. If it's
definitely not a
not
place for healthy discourse.
if
That's for
it's
sure.
if it's not one thing one week, it's the next week anymore. It seems like it just
Yeah, well, that's what I learned from the whole
Yeah.
cheating discourse or whatever, is that like I just got to do these discussions in person, like for sure, because it's way more productive face to face with people. You know what I mean? Than trying to type out with 140 characters and like not being able to explain exactly what you mean, and then people just misconstrued it or
Mhm.
misinterpret it
Mhm.
or have some sort of way they're thinking about it. Yeah, there's no like productive back and forth. It's always just like, I have my opinion, I'm forcing my opinion, and if you have a different opinion, it's not allowed. And I hate that. because it's like, if you have an opinion, I don't care if I have a differing opinion. I want to hear it. You know what I mean? I do want to test my ideas against other people's ideas and come with the best conclusions, because again, at the end of the day, my whole goal is healthy discourse around these subjects, because these are important subjects. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have a community where we can bring up these things in a better way and talk about them more productively, because then we can actually make change happen. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But at this point, it's not gonna happen.
Do you think you could like get a couple of judges and TOs on board and maybe make like a roundtable bit of content involving it?
Yeah, so that's actually where I'm at now. I've actually talked with a couple of people, kind of discussing that, Steuben, because like me talking on Twitter is not necessarily going to help as much as maybe trying to implement some of these ideas, or at least share them and figure out changes we can make to have a healthier discourse around this. Because there's also other attributes and like things that come into play too. Like, people don't really trust our judges right now in a lot of ways, because they're like, oh, well, they don't make the right calls. Oh, there's a lot of things. And that's a whole other subject matter, because increasing the quality of judges is like just a whole nother subject you can dive down.
Yeah. It's hard, because like when you're an unpaid volunteer for the most part. Not a lot of judges come on as like staff or payroll. They're compensated in products and a little bit of a per diem. Like, I've been down that road. I refuse to staff at regionals ever again. Like, I won't do it again. I'll TO at my local game stores and judge at other ones for cups and stuff, but I won't go any further.
Yeah, people end up going into the negative on these events sometimes. You know, they're doing it like for the love of the hobby, the love of the game. Maybe they have kids that play, you know, stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of self-sacrifice from our judge staff and such. But that's the thing too, is just like, you have to think of what our system to do, like to designate cheating or whatever, is even based off of. It's based off intentionality, and it's like, that's so hard to call. You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to call that, you know? But that's the thing as well, is like, I just feel like that entire system can sometimes lead to very messy outcomes too. So yeah, I definitely think there needs to be internal, like not even community based, but internal discourse about, you know, I don't know, rules and judging. And there's so many judges though, it's hard to get them all. You're never going to get them all on the same page. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do we?
I want your opinion on this. Do you feel as if all, let's just call them mistakes or errors, are created equal, or should there be a certain way to kind of decipher and determine, you know, what a penalty should be or what should happen, or what do you feel?
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to say, is that like, it shouldn't matter as much if the person like did it intentionally or not, because the error
I'm
is
taking that
still there.
intentionality. I'm just talking about just an error happens regardless of, you know.
Oh no. There's definitely a difference between, like, let's say I'm trying to think of something. Something that, like,
last night I was at locals. The deck I play is Zoroark, by the way. I'm gonna keep bringing that up. The deck.
He's beating the dead horse.
Let's go.
The list I play, though, I do a lot of shuffling. I play Pokegears. I play Mew, so I'm looking at 6 cards. I play Crobat, Luminia. So I do a lot of shuffling, deck shuffling. I play the Crobat, no hand. I end up drawing 7 because I also play Research. I also, you know, V-Star. I took 7, and my opponent's like, "Oh, you took 7." I'm like, "Oh, I did take 7." So I was like, "Okay, should I just put it back on top? Should we shuffle the deck?" I said, "I'll show it to you." Revealed it to him. The judge came. He just shuffled the deck up. Now, infraction like that, do you think that should be a 2-prize penalty every time, or is that something that is there wiggle room for certain things that happen? Like if I draw extra card, always 2-prize penalty, or if I grab too many items off a supporter, what do you think about that?
I think they have it stated pretty clearly in the rules what that is. I'm pretty sure it's always a 2-prize penalty.
Yeah, and it scales. It scales. It also depends on your age. It depends on your age division as well.
Okay.
You're allowed to scale penalties up and down. Say, for example, if it's like a juniors player or whatever, like, you know, if it was, it's really, again, it's on to the call of the judge. It really is up to the, like, what they think is the best instance, but you can definitely scale those from like an infraction to a warning to a full-on prize penalty, depending on like the severity of the event. So like if you're at locals, I would say that I personally, if you're at a local and there's nothing on the line, like you're just playing, you know, like for a couple booster packs.
It's different. Yeah,
It's a lot different versus a $70 regional.
Or maybe a cup, a regional, something like that.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. Actually, I think locals are much different. I think locals inherently, if it's not like a challenge or a cup or anything, that it should be more laid back, because otherwise I think it could be kind of a huge turn off from like newer players.
Mhm.
You know, you never want to walk into a room where you're going to be like shark down and like get judge called for every little thing you do. And when it's a locals sort of thing where there's a lot less on the line than like you're traveling and championship points, and like Subin said, $70 just to enter it, you know. It's much different, and I think there should be like a different atmosphere kind of cultivated from that. But let me ask you this, Gazer. Let's say you're at like a regional or something, and let's say you make that mistake or whatever, and they decide to like, I don't know, not give you a 2 prize penalty, they just give you a warning for it or whatever. What do you think is more impactful on the person making the mistake, if they get that 2 prize penalty, or if they get to just take the mistake back and continue playing? Like, what are you going to remember more in your matches going forward, that maybe you're going to be extra careful now because you don't want a 2 prize penalty sort of thing, or you might forget again because there was no penalty for it, you know what I mean?
I didn't have to pay a price for anything. So yeah, you're exactly right. I work at elementary school. I work with kindergartners, and you know, a lot of times we say, do the no, and they, you know, don't do that, and they do anything, whatever it is. They don't feel the severity of that until we take away their recess, or, you know, take away their free time, their play time. So yeah, you're right. I understand what you're saying. So my question was just like, do you think that every infraction should be a 2 prize penalty, or what Subin says it scales up and down, but do you think like the system's fine that way, or should just, you know, the rule, we say that whenever this mistake happens of this kind of nature, 2 prize penalty or 1 prize penalty, what, you know, anything like that? What do you think?
I think the more you outline concretely what the rules are, the better situations you're going to have, because you can't fight it. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what it says in the rule book. This is what you signed up for. This is what you know is going to happen. I think when you get into like, I don't know. I don't remember what happened with like Isaiah for the 2 item cards or whatever, because I think it was like I don't even remember what happened. Like, I don't think he got DQ'd or anything.
No, I believe he still played in the event. I don't know. I couldn't find anything beyond that he still played in the event when I was looking into it a little bit. Yeah,
but also like, I don't even know if they caught it and corrected it for stream, or if they corrected it afterward, or I don't know exactly what happened. Again, they don't really publicize those things, so it's like whatever. But yeah, the issues you run into if it's not concrete in the rule books and stuff like that, and why the intentionality thing is also kind of a mess as well, is that you'll have someone that makes the same mistake as someone else, but one person got this penalty and one person got this one. And that's where you cause a lot of turmoil within the community, because it's like, okay, well, why did this person get this penalty, but I did the same thing and I got a way harsher penalty? You know what I mean? And then comes in like, okay, we don't trust the judges. They're making bad calls. Oh, it depends on who you are, you know, and it's just gets really messy. So I think the more they concretely outline these things, even if you think it's a little harsh, like I would rather have it be a little harsh and then you learn and then you don't make that mistake again, than it to be lax and then people are getting different punishments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or sorry, not punishments, but penalties.
Yeah, it should be more standardized, like what happens, instead of leaving it to the judge's discretion. Like my round 3 opponent at Baltimore had some of their cards double sleeved, not all of them, some. And I noticed this after a suspicious boss's orders. I picked up their discard pile after asking them, and I'm going through, and it's just their full art cards. It's their gold cards, their shiny and Talion, their supporters. I just put it down and I call a judge. They come over and he's like, all right.
Wait, so is it easy to notice that, Steuben? Because
I only noticed it when the boss's orders that they just played had an extra glare.
Oh, wow.
So I had no clue.
Hard to catch.
I had no clue until he put that boss in the discard pile, and it glared a little bit different than every other card that he had. And I was just like, can I look at your discard? Can I look at your discard pile? And I pick it up, and like there's a Clara in there that's double sleeve that was a full art. Some shiny energy cards, but like, you know, like common Sobbles and stuff, they weren't double sleeved. So I just put it down. I called a judge. They came over. They got the deck check team. They had him unsleeve. They didn't even pick the deck up to verify that they took out all the double sleeves after the fact. And that was like, I was just like, okay. They gave him a game loss. and then we proceeded with the match. But I don't think, like, in that situation, I feel like it should have been more severe. Being
What did the
three
person
rounds
say?
in, oh, they were mad. They were mad.
Did they say
Right, you did say they
it was
were.
just
That's
an
right.
accident?
They said
said
this
it
was their first event. They didn't know the rules.
Oh,
But they
wait,
but they were very mad. They were very mad at me. And as we were signing the match slip afterwards, they're like, anything it takes to win, right? So that made me feel like, were they actually cheating, or were they just upset about the fact? And like, I didn't know this person. I didn't recognize their name. Like, you know, not the name drop people, but like, you know, if I was sitting across from, you know, like Zachary Cooper or whatever, like, I'd be very careful with that instance, knowing like the reputation of said player. But I had no idea who the guy was.
Wow.
And you know, that I feel like that should have been a little bit more severe. Like the deck check team should have picked up the deck and verified it, that there were
I agree, because
no
like
more
if there's
cards
one
double
card that's
sleeved.
double sleeved, then you should definitely check the rest for sure. Especially if they're gonna give a game loss anyway.
Mhm.
Like you guys just scoop that game pretty much, right?
Yeah, they gave him the
so it's
game.
like,
They
why
gave him
wouldn't
the
they
game
check
loss, and
the
then let him
deck?
decide. You know, okay, you got the game loss, so technically it's a loss. You decide first or second, so on and so forth. And then game two, I played Mew. They played an Inteleon deck, and this was Baltimore, so no Lost Origin. And they start Mysterious Tail Mew. They went first. No, they let me go first. I'm sorry, they let me go first. So, you know, I you know, Fusion Strike system a few times. I get 2 Mews and 2 Genesix down, and I got a handful of 4 cards when my turn's over. They have a Mysterious Tail Mew. They just look at their hand for like 15 seconds. They don't even use their ability. They're like, all right, your turn. Show me the VMAX and the energy. And I was just like, what? You don't even want to use your ability?
They know I'm over it.
They were mad. So like,
want to play with you.
I think at that point, like, were they cheating? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, is that's the way the conversations go, is like, were they cheating? Were they not cheating? And that's really what we should not be focusing on. Because if you focus on, like, you know, they had cards in their deck that were double sleeved, which you're not allowed to do. It's very obvious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's marked cards, technically.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Then it's like, it shouldn't matter if they did that intentionally or not, because either way it has to be corrected. And on their part too, that should be the thought process as well, is like, oh, okay, well, even if I didn't do this intentionally, like, I didn't, and that's the thing, is like, if they said, oh, I didn't know the rules or whatever, like, I mean, that's still on them for not knowing the rules. You know what I mean?
Again,
like,
$70 entry fee. Like, you should at least know a little bit.
Yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's like, instead they probably walked away from that thinking, oh, this person's such a rule shark, and you know, they call this, and it was my first event, and this was a horrible experience, and Pokemon sucks and stuff, instead of just being like, oh, I didn't know this was the rules, I'll read up on this and make sure my stuff's good next time, and take the penalty and move on. You know what I mean?
Like, they could have played game 2 out completely, and we could have had a full set. Like, it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they got super mad and like said, you know, anything to win, right, as we signed the match slip, kind of made me feel like a bully almost for calling it out. And I shouldn't have to feel that way for having to call a judge and someone getting a penalty. So like, again, like, you were right on the head. Like, if our people are now afraid to call a judge and ask for help. And the fear of being canceled.
And you actually have, you know, another reason I was kind of delving into this conversation was because I had a little bit of discourse back and forth with like some pro players, people that have been playing for years and years and years, actually saying that they will intentionally not call judges and try to either, like, because if their opponent, let's say, is like slow playing or whatever, and they really think they're slow playing, they sometimes that backfires on you, because if you like call the judge and then they think you're like rule sharking or whatever, it could be bad for you or whatever. So a lot of pro players are no longer calling for slow playing, but then they were also saying, oh, if I make a mistake or whatever, and I didn't do it on purpose, again, introducing that intentionality to it, then I should just be able to resolve it with my opponent. And as long as my opponent is okay with that resolution, then we should be able to work this out without even having a judge. And that, to me, this was coming from pro players saying this, I swear. And that to me is like the most corrupt thing ever, because then you introduce so many different variables that are completely unmeasured, because you could have someone who's much more experienced with someone who's like new to the game potentially, and saying like, oh, I didn't mean, or like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Let me just take this energy back. Is that cool? You know, and just kind of putting it on you. And then you're sitting there like, oh, I don't know if that's cool. Like, I guess if they're saying that's cool, like, that's cool. Like, oh, I'm sure you didn't mean to do it purposely. Like, okay, sure. You know, even though like that's obviously like not cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To just be making mistakes and then taking them back and then checking with your opponent. Also, when you call a judge into a scenario or whatever, you actually have checks and balances, because there's a whole judge team and you can appeal a decision that happens. So if they make a decision, like technically for you, Steuben, you could have been like, hey, shouldn't you check the entire deck if we already found one that was double sleeved? And then they could respond to you and whatever. And if you don't like what they say, you can appeal to a higher judge. Also, all those mistakes and stuff are then logged into that record as well for these players. So if somebody keeps making, you know, gameplay errors over and over again, but you're never calling a judge, they're never getting caught doing that. They could just be doing gameplay errors and getting away with it the entire event and it's never logged. Yeah.
Not the event, the whole career, just forever.
Or that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, it's actually pretty very big imbalance of power, I think, that can come into play when you start like self-judging your games. You know what I mean? It's pretty bad. But again, people think that's like the way to go. They're like, oh, well, I didn't mean to do it purposely. And it's like, that shouldn't matter. Like, you did something that broke the rules of the game. So call a judge, resolve it, take your penalty, and move on. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. We've definitely hit that on the head. We can do some stonks super fast before we do Q&A, and I'm like kind of going through some of these right now, getting some ready.
We need some stonks. But just some last thing on the judging thing. Just a final thought for anyone listening at home, just, you know, to kind of wrap this up. I think the great rapper Tupac said this best: "Only God can judge me." So
let's go.
Just take that as you guys will, and just use that.
Oh Lord, what have you done, man?
No.
What have you?
Just came to mind.
It's that West Coast Cali life taking over your brain, dude.
West Coast, man. Did you guys see that NAIC might be on the West Coast?
Oh, where did you see that, Gazer Beam?
I seen a little leak pop through on Twitter. Might not be true, but a lot of nights to make. It sounds like Boo knows something we don't know, Steuben.
No, I don't know anything.
Okay, all right, we'll go with that.
I don't. I actually don't.
Got you.
I mean, like you didn't know you were gonna go to regionals until like what, the week before, right?
They tell us everything very last minute. So
the week. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
don't plan anything.
They're like, hey, can you drop everything and go to the middle of nowhere in Illinois? And they're like, yeah, why not, right?
Sure.
Well, so they ask us ahead of time what we're free for. So technically, I tell them whether or not I can do the events, but we don't know if we get those events. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would love to have more of a heads up, and I'm hoping we have that, because, like, if I'm casting Arlington in December, then I'll obviously be there to cast it. But if I am not casting, I want to play in it. You know what I mean? So, like, I would love to book that ahead of time and be able to go play in it. But I know that Jeremy purposely like asked off for some events because he planned to go play in them. So maybe I should have just done that, honestly.
You haven't played since
Papers, since an official event, since Indianapolis.
Indy. Oh, and that's when.
Wow.
That's when that happened.
When I got robbed.
Yeah. Anybody ever catch that guy?
No, I have the footage though, and it is like 2 pixels.
Right there. That's the guy. He moves right there. You see a little blur. I'm still like, I still go through it in my free time to just maybe see something. One day, you're like, wait, that's that guy.
It's like pointless. Like, why do they even have cameras if they're this bad quality? What's the point of having them?
That's unfortunate.
Like what I've learned from different shops, and I don't know if this goes for different, probably different venues and things like that.
Yeah.
You have to have cameras for, I guess, legal reasons to say that you have cameras. So, insurance purposes. They say, hey, I have
Oh.
cameras. It's not good quality, but we have cameras. Also, at the same aspect, some shops don't have cameras. That way, police can't get involved with certain things like that. So there's reasons for different things. So who knows why? But there's different reasons for different things.
We have
Yeah.
a
we
shop here
have
locally that gets
cameras in
broken
our
to
store.
here. You do?
Yeah, we have cameras in our store. There's two.
Okay.
Yeah, my local card shop has cameras.
They're literally
most of the
everywhere
shops I
except
go
for the
to-
bathroom. They're everywhere in the building except for the
Good.
bathroom.
Good.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
work
it's
them in the
illegal
bathroom.
to have them in the bathroom for sure.
But no, most of the shops I go to have cameras, but there's one shop here that gets broken to like once a month.
Oh
And
no.
they have cameras, but they're not working. They're just kind of there. And that way, the place gets broken into, the police get called up. Hey, do you want us to look into it? No, it's all right. Just because they don't have the cameras.
Oof. Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
like bad idea.
It's got to be some reason. But yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't played since Indy.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to play in any events this year?
I'm itching to play paper. Yeah, I'm trying to go for my invite, but I'm slowly deciding if that's even possible with
You
casting.
keep doing a good job casting, it might not happen.
Well,
They're
I
gonna keep
mean,
calling you back.
when cups and challenges come back, you can,
Yeah,
win
that's what I'm
eight
thinking on.
cups. There's 400 points right there, and if you can just sneak in the 256 like 3 times, you're in.
They're going to start asking
Yeah.
to cast cups and challenges. Watch.
I snuck into 256 at Indy, so
Dude,
that was-
I bubbled freaking 256 the last events I've been
Are
to.
you serious?
Every time. 531,
No.
531, man. I hate it. I played Darkrai at Milwaukee and was one win away. I think I would have been maybe the only Darkrai in day 2 if I would have made it.
Oh.
And then bubbled points at Baltimore. I think like 78 people bubbled 256 points with a 531 record. Just because the tournaments are so big now that 4 or 5 years ago, 531 would have been like, oh cool, you're in top 128. Let's go. And now it's just so big that I think the system might need to change a little bit just to go with it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Events keep growing. I mean, each one's been a record-breaking number, so.
Yeah, what happens when we hit 2,000 player events? You have to go 8-0 to make day 2 at that point. If you follow the same points and everything, there's just no way.
Oh, I think that's why they cap them, but also I would love for them to not cap them. I would actually love for them to be able to expand them for more players.
Yeah.
Because I think the demand is there for sure.
Do you think when we get Scarlet and Violet with VGC coming back into the fold, the tighter caps will happen on events?
I hope not, but yeah, I guess there's always potential. But VG has no people though. They barely have any.
Brand new game this time around though. Maybe there's some growth for that. Who knows? We didn't really get to see. We really didn't get to see what would have happened with Sword and Shield being
early
brand new and hyped early on. So
early on, you're right. You guys heard it here first on the Gust podcast. Frosted Caribou says VGC has no people. It's bad. Nothing's going on.
Whoa.
You guys heard it here first.
Whoa.
Take it to Twitter, clip it.
Yes, and she wants to fight Mahone.
She wants to fight Andrew Mahone.
Play TCG instead. Shameless.
Stupid. We have some songs going on. What's happening, man?
Prices do be nuts this week.
So this is the song segment in case no one knows. I mean, this segment is sweeping the nation as well. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
I was in my local card shop and people were like, Gazer, we got to have those stonks. I said, they're coming. Just wait. They'll be here Tuesday. Just wait for them. But yeah, in this segment, what we're going to do is look through cards that are either increasing or decreasing, value-wise or playability, and discuss those for a second. So Subin usually handle the value side. I handle playability. What do you have this week?
Dude, Battle Pass is off.
Oh my gosh.
Off the rails. VIP Battle Pass, Battle VIP Pass, let me be correct, is almost
Get it right, stupid.
It's almost $5 a copy.
I seen it for $4 last week. It's $5 now?
They're pushing $5 a copy.
Oh my gosh.
Scoop Up Nets are still pushing $5 a copy as well. It's insane that these cards need printings. People want 4 of them in decks. Look at the Lost Engine decks now. They all have 4 Battle Pass, 4 Scoop Up Net. There's just and they're uncommons. They're uncommons. Yeah. There's not enough to go around. People aren't selling bulk. Bulk is completely worthless right now. So stores and normal people who get these cards in to sell them aren't getting them in because they're not buying bulk half the time.
That's whack.
It's insane. It's absolutely nuts.
$5. Someone last week in our little group chat that we play locally was asking for Battle VIP Pass. I was like, yeah, I got a few extras. I said, yeah, I'm doing what, like $1? So they're actually like $4. Like $4. Like they're four. What do you mean they're $4?
Yeah, like, wait, what?
I'm keeping these, so I'll grab them like the meme with Dave Chappelle. I'm like clutching all my cards. Like $4.
Never mind.
Never mind. Yeah.
Well, that's like when custom catchers happens, or like everyone knew that like after rotation that the only like gusting cards or whatever was going to be custom catchers. Yeah. So they bought custom catchers for like 10 cents and they just bought tons of them. And then they went up to $10 for a custom catcher. Like, oh my God. That stonks. That stonks.
Do you think that like Cross Switcher will hit that same point after rotation? After Fusion Strike finally dries up?
What gusting cards are we losing? Is that it?
No, we'll still have Boss. Boss will still exist.
No. As long as there are other gusting options, I don't think so. I don't think it'll ever hit that point.
Okay. And on the low end, Giratina V-Star is as low as $12.49 on TCGplayer at the current moment in time. Compared to 2 weeks ago, they're like $20.
I think that's going to drop more.
It didn't. It didn't perform as hyped up as a lot of people thought it was going to.
And I didn't see it performing as. I didn't see it matching the hype. I thought it'd be good, but I didn't see it matching the hype. It was getting so much hype.
And yet,
matching the hype. I think it's gonna continue to drop a little bit.
Yeah, Kyurem went down as well. Kyurems are about $6 for the VMAXs.
Kyurem went down?
Yep.
That's surprising.
Arceus V-Stars are finally about $20. They've come down from that $25 price point for the first time in a hot minute. And then the shocker is Palkia has gone up. They're about 28 again, roughly.
No.
So
I think Palkia's up. I don't know.
However, I think if it's not next week or this week, the Palkia and Dialga collections come out.
Okay, so
the surprise Palkia.
That could make it dip a little bit because new full arts.
Usually it does.
New V stars.
It's like when they printed the Dedenne in the little toolbox, and like Dedenne's dropped to like $2 or whatever, where they used to be like 10. So
yeah. So Crobat could have been crazy if they didn't, print Crobat to Oblivion technically 4 times now.
Yeah. Crobat was crazy when it first came out.
Yeah.
Crobat was wild.
And then the champion or Shining Fates. Yeah, Team Up Jirachi was nuts. Maybe Comfy could hit those numbers.
No way, because Jirachi was a rare, and didn't it only come
Comfy's a rare, a non-holo rare.
Oh, I always forget that. You know what? Cramorant's not a rare though.
Cramorant is also a rare. And Sableye is a holo. Sableye is a holo rare.
Oh, what am I thinking in that deck that's not rare then? They're all rares?
Colress is an uncommon, Mirage Gate's an uncommon.
The Super Nets might as well be rare.
Well, the Pokemon, but if all the Pokemon are rare, then
they're rares for the Comfy and Cram, and then Sableye is a
rare.
Yep.
Especially because the counts are high, so people need them.
Yeah, market price on Comfy's $2. The promo Comfy from the Build and Battle kits are 6 and change.
Yeah.
But I think Sableye is like $3 or $4 though too. Let me double check on that one since I'm already here. But
Sableye's got to be up there.
Oh, Sableye went up. Yeah, lowest listing right now is $4.51. There's only 16 listings available on TCGplayer.
So it's like you said last week, people are holding on to those Sableyes and those other cards because they're expecting some type of influx. Huh?
Cheapest. One listing with $4 or $2 shipping, so it's a $6 card if you're factoring the shipping. They have 1 copy available. The next seller is $6.99 shipping. They have 2 copies available, and then it's 1 at $6 with the dollar shipping, and then 1 at $7, and then they go up.
Yo, that deck is hard to play. That deck is so hard to play, though.
There's literally 16 copies of Sableye for sale on TCGplayer at this moment in time. And if you're crazy enough to buy them, use the link down in the description below for the TCGplayer affiliate link.
Let's go.
Quick plug.
That's the only plug. That's the only real plug we have. This TCGplayer.
Hey, you earned it with this pod.
Okay, but I have some songs for you. Playability wise, what I think will increase in playability. Hear me out. This is a weird one.
Okay.
Zamazenta V, but not the one you're thinking of. The one with the regal stance. The one we discard your hand and draw 5.
Yeah, I put that in my Goodra deck.
I was
already.
gonna
Okay.
say, what deck
See,
does it
I feel
slot?
like that's it. I feel like they can go in a few decks, but it's also the attack, that Revenge Blast. If Kiram improves the way I think Kiram will. I called Kiram last week because he's going up, and I called Orangaroo, and Orangaroo's gone up still. You seen that?
Yeah,
People are playing
Rangaru's been in
now.
like everything almost.
I called
Rangaroo is
Orangaroo. I called that one.
amazing.
But yeah, I think the Zamazenta can see some play just based off that Revenge Blast attack. It can one shot Kirams, and Kirams can be super dangerous. If someone gets a Kiram going, it can knock out almost anything. So I think just having that Zam as like a backup thing and some type of I don't even know where it would go. But I just think it's gonna find a way in decks, and also based on the ability too. I'm having a slow turn. Let me just pitch my hand, throw it away, get out of here. 5 new cards. So I think that Zam might see some play somewhere. And the other card, you guys kind of spoiled it. You guys touched on it. I think Cross Switcher is going to pop up in like everything now.
Mm.
Yeah, there were a few
It's-
lists that played like 2 copies of Cross Switcher of all things. Not 4, just 2 copies. I can't remember which list it was. I think it
Yeah.
might have been a Kiram list that played 2 copies of it in there. Just because
Was
like
it
Irida.
Yoshi's movie? Yeah.
It might have been. It might have been.
Or it may have been Zach's too. Zach Kirkler.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to pop up because you can hit it with the Orangaroo I mentioned. Rotom Phone, find it, Orangaroo it, switch something out, grab it. It's a thing now. So it gives you a chance to boss. Then you can also research Marnie, whatever you need to do that turn, and also have a Gust. So I think Cross Switcher won't just see play in like Mew or Inteleon. It's going to pop up in like just random decks now, just everywhere.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Towards List plays 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got Cross Switch last night playing against Towards Lists, and I was like, that's fine, right? I can't do anything about it. I lose.
Yeah.
I hate Lost. Oh, I love Lost Box, but I hate playing against it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Oh,
You
Sable.
just gotta play a deck that beats it.
Yeah.
You think
Who do you
people
see-
are gonna be playing to beat Lost Box now, or playing to beat Palkia, or just trying to do even, or what do you
I
think?
think it's going to be one of those if you can't beat them, join them kind of thing. I think we'll see more Lost Boxes.
Yeah, oh, well, for sure. I think usually after a deck wins, you always see more of it.
That's true,
So, but I'm telling you, that deck is so hard to play. It's so hard to play. Like,
Yeah, it's
you have
not
to be
easy.
a pretty skilled player to play that thing flawlessly. And that's the thing is like when you get to those, like you have to decide if you're playing a deck to get you points or if you're playing a deck to win the event. And that's what like the pro players are playing the decks to win the event. You know what I mean? So they squeeze out those matchups in day 1. But once they're into day 2, their list has to be better than yours, and they have to be, a better player than you, pretty much, to win it. So
The guy that I played last night playing Towards List, game 1 was easy because I just had the 2 Mews out. He got the 10 cards and lost zone by turn 2. Took out my Mews, right? I run the Mysterious Tail Mews, took him out. Game 2 though, it was a fight. We went back and forth. I got down to 1 prize, and basically it went to turns. And if he couldn't knock me out the following turn, I would have decked him out, and it was real close. But he was struggling, like you said, it's tough. He was struggling where to put the damage counters. He's like, okay, let's put 3 on the Crobat. Let's put 2 on the Gengar. He's trying to figure it out. And at one point, he did the math wrong, and he had to come in with the Charizard too early and had to knock me out. And I could knock out his Charizard, and it's hard. It is hard to play. It's good, but it's a hard list to play.
Yeah, like
we could see more Lost City. I think it's pretty wild how little Lost City we saw in the field, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And Lost City's so good against like Reggies and stuff like that too. Just kind of like wipes them off.
You just have to know how to play it,
Mhm.
But
The
I mean,
right
we
moments.
saw Andrew Mahone how impactful Lost City was in his matchups on stream. Like it stuck for 3 turns, and that's what won him the game because all the Reggies just hit the Lost Zone. It's like, what do you do?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really shocked. And he only played 1 on the list. Of course, he had Palpad and Silene, but yeah, I think we'll probably see more Lost City if anything in decks.
Yeah,
Because I mean, they can bump it, but they can't bump it if you're using it in a strategic way to knock out a certain Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, sure, they can bump it next turn, and it might not
Could
stick.
that be the
but
counter to
still.
Lost Box? Could that be like a solid counter? Like if I Lost City both your Sableyes, or I Lost City Comfey at the right time? Could that be?
No,
It definitely. I think
I
it.
don't-
I don't think
I
it's
don't
just
think
like
so.
I instantly win. It's not. It's definitely not like an instant win, but I think it would be helpful for sure.
Okay.
I
Like,
don't
if
know
they-
if the Comfies though.
No, I think once you get to a certain point, the Comfies don't even matter anymore. They're more
no,
of a
you're exactly right,
liability.
yeah.
They're definitely more of a liability later in the game, especially if you play an Emir of that. Because then,
Yeah, I think it would be more for,
a
like,
Goon Ping and a Scoop Up
Honestly,
Net.
the Sableye.
The
I
Sableyes.
think also I think that Snorlax worked pretty well
Mhm.
against the Lost Box too. The Snorlax is pretty underrated, I think,
It is.
especially in like Mirage Gate decks.
Yeah,
Like,
I like how
agree.
John
I
put the
agree.
Snorlax in his Giratina list for the Lost Box matches.
Yeah, and if anything, I think we'll see more variation of Giratina that like does beat the Lost Box. Because like John was playing it as just a one prize deck. So if you can have the correct cards to just play it that way and outplay them because you got the first knockout or whatever, then like I think you help that matchup a lot for sure. But I think it still needs a little bit of tweaks to the list for that Giratina. But then you're just using the Giratina to just roll other decks, So
yeah, Giratina will give you a little bit more of an odd against some of the bigger like V-Star V-Max decks for sure.
Yeah, like Kyurem.
Mm-hmm.
So
you gotta be able
they don't have the wash energy like
Yep.
Yeah.
Pop. All right. So let's do some Q&A because we've been at it for 2 hours now. Whew. Just looked at the time.
I told you.
It's a typical kind of pod.
We have been going longer this season, I will say. We have been. We've had a lot to talk about. I could make
a joke, but I don't want to get in trouble about that. So
oh my God, Gazer. All right.
Well, I mean, it happened on a stream, so I'm okay. Never mind. It happened on a regional stream.
Chill. I feel so bad for Kyle. He really did not mean it that way, too.
No, he didn't. He did not. All right. So first question is from Totemon. All the questions this time are coming from Twitter. So thanks to everybody who asked. This one's from Totemon. Non-Pokemon related, what's your favorite food and favorite dessert?
You want to start, Steuben?
Oh man, favorite food? I love chicken wings. I absolutely love chicken wings. Dessert? Red velvet, cake, cheesecake, cookies, whatever. Red velvet, just in general.
That's a crime.
How is it a crime?
Red velvet is gross.
Oh, no way. It's the cream cheese frosting that's like the best part.
No, that's what makes it gross.
No. She's right about the cream cheese frosting. But it's okay.
Yeah.
She's right though.
Oh.
Like, wow. I might as well just eat a bagel if I want to eat cream cheese.
She's making
I don't like bagels with cream cheese, but I love cream cheese frosting. I don't get it. I don't understand.
No.
I just don't like. You'll never catch me eating a bagel with cream cheese.
You and Emily are at a hotel and there's continental breakfast. Hey babe, give me a bagel, no cream cheese though. Oh, is that red velvet cake? Give me a slice of that.
I mean, if it's continental breakfast and I have to eat, I'll get a waffle. They almost always have a waffle maker.
Oh, interesting. Would you rather have a waffle over a pancake?
Yeah.
No way. Also,
the syrupy crevices.
Yeah.
Like
no way.
I'm impartial. Boo, you're right about the cream cheese. Sumi, you're right about the waffles.
The only time I'll not to shout out like a national brand or whatever, but the only time I'll pick a pancake a pancake over a waffle is if you go to Bob Evans, you get the cinnamon supreme pancakes. But they also took those off the menu recently, so I'm very mad about that. Yeah, it's waffles until Bob Evans. I'm calling you out, Bob Evans. Bring back the cinnamon supreme pancakes, or there'll be hell to pay.
People they're demanding it. They want it. They're coming in droves looking for those pancakes. They got to have them. You're right, Steuben.
They were really good pancakes.
I never expected on this podcast that we would have Steuben threatening Bob Evans. I'm not gonna lie.
At the same time, we had Frosted Caribou wanted to fight Andrew Mahone. So
I know, right? Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna log on to Twitter and that's gonna be clipped. Oh no!
Well, I missed the episode about a month ago. I was playing in a winner box. I ended up losing it. But about a month ago, I missed the episode, and somehow Steuben and the Trainers Guild, 9 Card, and the other homies, Vulcan Turtle, they started a hashtag Blame Gazer as a thing, and it started trending. For a couple of days. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I've seen
hashtag Blame Gazer.
I've seen it like 3 times in the chat tonight. It happens every day in Discord. I see it on Twitter at least 3 or 4 times a day. I'll see it on every Twitch stream. I think Sonny has a command now that's like something Gazer, and it's like hashtag.
That's so great.
Blame Gazer.
That's bomb.
Nope, there
That's
it is.
a good question. Yep. Oh wait, we're still answering.
Yeah,
Gazer,
yeah.
It's your turn. The food and the dessert.
Food, I'm a pizza kind of guy. I enjoy pizza. I enjoy eating pizza because there's so many different options to it. So many different ways.
As long as it's not pineapple, okay.
I don't mind pineapple.
What?
Yeah, I won't
Oh,
order
what?
it, but if it's there, I'll have a slice.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, do pineapple pizzas always come with the ham as well, or is it usually just the pineapple?
That's
I
called
don't eat
Hawaiian.
either of
That's
them.
called Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, there's one
Yeah, like,
that's popular. It's like pepperoni, jalapeno, and pineapple.
oh my
Huh?
god, that sounds
Huh?
terrible.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like on a lot of like local menus here in like Pennsylvania. I'm not gonna
Only in
lie.
Ohio.
I live in Pennsylvania, thank you. I don't live in Ohio. I go to Ohio for work.
Wow.
But
Well,
for dessert though, Steven, you know what? I like a good blizzard from Dairy Queen. I just
Yeah,
can't get them.
ooh,
yeah.
that's a good answer. Which
I just
one
can't get them.
though, Gazer?
There's
Which
one
one?
that I used to get called I think it was called Chocoholics. It had brownie pieces and chocolate flakes, and it was just it
Oh,
was great.
that's Emily will know the name.
Extreme or something like that. Whatever it was.
Emily, if you're paying attention in the chat, what's the name of that one? We know what that one is.
Did you
She
break
You're
the fourth
using like
wall again?
taco lovers or something.
she'll know what it is.
Something about chocolate
I
something.
think it's like Choco Supreme.
Wow, that's a name.
Whatever.
I think they have one that's called peanut butter lovers. That's like super good.
Is that with
But
like the core or whatever in the middle with the peanut butter?
No. It has
Oh.
like
I heard about that.
I think it has like it's like Reese's Pieces in it. But I get it with usually it comes with vanilla, but I get it with chocolate, and it's like way better.
Now I'm depressed again. We don't have a Dairy Queen in my city.
Oh
And the time
wow.
I went looking for one in Sacramento, both Dairy Queens I went to, their machines were down. So
I think I'm gonna get Dairy Queen for
What?
lunch tomorrow, Gazer. I'll make
Thanks
sure
a
I
lot,
send you a
Steve.
picture. I'll get a nice chicken strip basket with a mini
Come on,
blizzard
bro,
on the
stop.
side.
You
I'll ask for
Oh,
extra
God.
gravy.
Come on, bro. Stop.
Oh,
Boo,
sad.
what's your favorite food and dessert?
Mm. I think my food, it has to be sushi. I love sushi. I'm a huge
Really? As a
sushi
favorite? Wow.
person. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually between that or like a very well done or not well done, but a very well cooked steak.
Okay.
That's medium rare. But those are those are like kind of bougie picks, you know what I mean? Like Gazer said pizza, and I'm like picking super expensive foods. But they're my favorite. And then for the dessert, easy. Chocolate lava cakes, like molten lava cakes
Oh
with ice
yeah.
cream.
That's a
With
good one.
ice cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy pick.
You ever
That's a
had
good
the
one.
ones from Domino's?
Oh, those are like B-rated compared to Chili's, yeah.
I've never had oh no,
You're
okay.
both right.
Chili's.
This whole segment, I'm being unbiased. You guys are both correct. Those lava cakes from Domino's, they are good, yes. But yeah, Caribou's right. Boo's right. It's the chili one, or is it Chili's or is it Applebee's?
Oh, I think it might actually be Applebee's. I don't know because I
Applebee's?
don't actually go to the restaurant except for the lava cake. So
Keep walking. Give me the cake.
it's one of those. I think it actually might be Applebee's,
That's
Gazer.
what
I
I'm saying.
think
But
you're
yeah, that
right.
cake is glorious. Subin, you need to get one of those if you haven't had it yet.
I will
so
try it.
good.
I will try it.
It's weird
You guys are
too because
both
I
right.
actually don't like cake usually. Like cheesecake is like I like cheesecake, but normal cakes or like cupcakes and stuff, I'm like not a huge fan. Like so it's weird that I like like lava cake, but it's just different because you pierce
Yeah.
into it and then it's like uncooked chocolate comes out. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the ice cream. Oh,
Yeah, she's right.
so good.
Oh, the
You
hot
guys are right.
fudge. Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
All right. Next
All right, I
question.
see- Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go.
I
Yeah,
see
no.
the
All
question.
right. We're fine, Gazer.
Okay. Well, we have a question here. Okay. Given that Lost Zone Box won recently, thoughts on Rogue/non-meta decks suddenly gaining traction in the TCG? I wouldn't even call Lost Zone Toolbox
That
Lost
for
Box
sure
a
is not
Rogue or
rogue.
non-meta. Yeah, I wouldn't even call
Yeah,
it that.
that is like BDIF, yo.
Mhm.
That ain't rogue.
Yeah,
I think people just have this misconception sometimes that like one prize
single
decks
prize
are
deck.
always rogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I would love to change because I wish we had more options for one prizers.
And now with the best one prizers that we have no options for other one prizers. Sable
Exactly. Yeah.
completely
Sableye just
gatekeeps
gatekeeps everything.
every
Yep.
single other like evolution Pokemon that isn't a V.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kind of rough.
Rough.
All right, this one is from Hollerman TCG. Whatever happened to bag checks at regionals? I don't know. Ask TPCI.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good question. I was wondering that because they didn't have them at Peoria. And I was like,
did not have
that's
them at
weird.
Baltimore either. And I went up like as I'm walking in, I was like, all right, I took my backpack off and I opened it up and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, bag check.
What are you
just
doing?
like, oh, you're good to go, man. I was like, you didn't even look.
What are you doing?
I
Don't
don't
do that.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's very odd.
So I guess that'd be something we'd have to, rally the entire community to.
Advocate for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we maybe
People are
get more of
demanding
those bag
They want
checks?
it. The community wants it. They're frothing at the mouth for it. They want
Yeah.
bag checks.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, it definitely makes everybody feel a little bit safer,
True, that's true.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't want to have any incidents with like an active shooter or anything like that, and that helps prevent that.
Yep, that's true. There actually was like an active shooter, not at our event, but
Hey, yo.
at NAIC. There was an active shooter
Hey.
in Columbus while we were all there.
Yeah, outside, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's wild because we got into me and my friend Jordan, we got into an Uber and we were going back to my hotel to like I was gonna change clothes, then we were gonna go out to like go to some bars or whatever. And this was after NAIC had like concluded. And our Uber driver was saying like they were saying like, yeah, someone was shot on this street, and we didn't realize that he was saying like 10 minutes ago. We just thought that he was saying like, oh yeah, this is kind of a dangerous area or something. I don't know. So we didn't even like think twice about it. We were like, why is he talking about this? This is kind of weird. And then we got back, we changed, we went out, we found this really cute bar, but they closed at like 12. So then we were like, oh, let's go find somewhere else. And everywhere on Google it said they were open, but we went there and they were not open. It was like super closed. Yeah, and we kept doing this. We went to like 3 places and we were like, why is everything closed here? So then we're like, whatever, I guess we'll just go back to our hotels and like that's it. And then we got back to the hotel and like opened up Twitter, and like Puka's on Twitter like, get back to your hotels because there's an active shooter like actively in Columbus, Ohio. And we're just like walking around in the streets and stuff too, like not even knowing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of unwild. Like, it is kind of wild for Columbus because, like, I've been going there forever. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and they had have regionals like multiple times a year, and I never felt unsafe once in downtown Columbus. I always thought it was pretty clean and good compared to a lot of other places I've been to. But yeah, that was like a kind of a shocker to hear about.
They always have it in Columbus, don't they?
NAIC, technically yes, since it's been NAIC, but the last time it was like nationals, it was in Indy.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2016, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll take you out of Columbus now because so many people got their cars stolen too.
The rumor is that the contract expired in Columbus this year.
Oh, okay.
But they had a multi-year deal locked in.
I wonder where they would do it then.
They could go back to Indy if they really wanted to, but they had a regionals there, so I mean, who knows? Different season technically or whatever, but still.
I definitely don't want to go back to Indy. That's for sure. They should just do it in Nashville.
You wake up and you're like, all right, cool. Short little drive.
Out of bed. Let's go. Well, I'm moving, so it wouldn't even be when I'm there, which would actually be. I'd actually be mad if they did in Nashville because I'm like, dang it! I just moved.
Now you want to do it? Now
I gotta go back because that's what happened with Worlds when they had Worlds in Nashville. I moved there like after that, so it's like, oh man,
you missed out.
They're just doing it to spite you now at this point.
I know, right?
Like, oh, she's here. No events. Oh, she's leaving. All right, events.
Oh, she's out of here. All right, we can have it in Nashville now.
Oh man. All right, Gazer, you want do another question?
Okay. This one is definitely geared towards Boo. What is your dynamic like being a content?
Hang on, you gotta shout that man out. That's Papa Neth. You can't disrespect Papa Neth that way.
Listen, Papa Neth, I sincerely apologize for just reading the question without giving you the
cred. Yeah.
I apologize sincerely. Papa Neff says,
that's better.
What is your dynamic like being a commentator for TPCI events while also offering your own content on YouTube? Are there limitations to your content now that you're working more directly with Pokemon, or what's that like?
Oh, like as far as like what I can and can't do, I think is maybe what they're saying.
Yeah. It's kind of things you can talk about. Can't do, can't say.
I don't think so because I mean, obviously, I can't make any sort of innuendos like Kyle did on the stream. But my content has because right when I got on YouTube, like shortly after was when they were enacting all the COPPA laws and such, where it made a lot of weird gray areas for like what you could and could not do and still monetize on YouTube.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, I'll just keep it like clean and pretty family friendly on my
Mhm.
channel because you know, there's still like jokes and stuff here and there, but nothing like crazy or anything. So I already don't like curse or anything on my channel. So I'm pretty brand friendly, I would say. You know, and some people are like, "Oh, she's so controversial. She has, you know, she's always stirring drama in the community." And it's like, what is my drama saying that I should have the choice whether or not to sleeve my card? Like, oh my god, how controversial. Oh, I want to better the discourse about cheating. How controversial. Like people just turn it into controversy because they like don't want me to have
That
an
Frosted
opinion.
Caribou is always bringing up something.
I know. Ugh, always pointing things out. Ugh,
You
trying to
damn
change
kids, get off
things.
my lawn. Like it's like
Yeah,
that.
right?
It's like that kind of like crotchety old man next door yelling about his
Yeah.
grass. That's my fence.
I've literally had 2 people now. One was actually adding Pokemon, trying to get me kicked off of commentating because the sleeve thing. Yeah, and then another person saying like, "You shouldn't be able to say this because you're a TCG commentator." I'm like, "What?" Because they were trying to say that I wasn't, that I was like advocating for like different rule sets or something, or that I was telling people something different from like the Pokemon rules. And I was like, "No, every time I have stated the rules, it has been exactly what the Pokemon rules are. And like I've stated that very clearly. The discussion I'm having is unrelated to the Pokemon rules." So yeah, it's just people want to turn things controversial, but it's really not controversial. You know what I mean? So I don't think so. As far as that goes, no, I think I'm chill to, you know, I think if anything, Pokemon is actually a pretty progressive company in that sense, in the fact that they like, you know, people speaking up about things or being like, as long as it's in like a healthy, productive way, you know, you're never gonna get in trouble for like something that you believe in as long as it's not hurting anybody else, you know? So
Yeah,
Okay.
I've gotten lucky
Well-
and I've gotten code cards for the last couple sets for streams and YouTube and such. So like, and you know, we have this podcast as a platform to talk about whatever, and they haven't taken that
Yeah.
away from me. So yeah, I mean, not at the
Hey,
level of
you
like
know,
connectivity with you are like with them, but still, like they're not gonna tell you not to do your thing.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think the only thing they strongly avoid for sure is, of course, like leaks or like ROM hacks and stuff like that. Promoting anything that's like directly against the Pokemon brand or whatever. It's definitely a big no for sure. Like
Don't
you
cost
can't
them money.
post.
Got it.
Yeah, or like something happened where like I couldn't post. Like I actually asked because I just thought about it before, but we got our badges and stuff for Worlds like ahead of time.
Mhm.
And I was gonna post like how cute it is, you know, the design on it. But I was like, oh, am I like leaking this or something? Even though like, you know, people are gonna see me walking around with it, but I couldn't post that because people could have like made like counterfeit one. Like they could take the image and like print it out and try to make fake ones, you know? So yeah. So
Just, I'm
yeah,
here.
there's
I'm part of the. Look, I'm part of the staff. Look at me.
exactly. There's some
Oh
things,
yeah.
or like, you know, we can't announce that we're like casting things before they announce it, sort of thing. So
Yeah, you gotta
of
wait
course
for them
there's
to do it all.
yeah, of course there's things like that. But as far as like how it affects my content, traveling around so much and then also having to play catch up back at home with like work
That was my
and
next
my
follow.
house and my pets and stuff is I am struggling right now
That was my next
balancing it
question. I was
all.
like, hey, how's you know? I said you might not have limitations, but how is it all affecting just your content? You just That was my next
Yeah,
follow up question to that. That's kind of
struggling.
it's kind of sad in a way, isn't it? Because I'm sure you have ideas and things you want to do and talk about, and just you can't find enough time sometimes.
Oh, I have so many ideas and videos and things I want to talk about. But that's the thing is like my channel is primarily opening product, right? So by the time I do actually get a chance to make a video and stuff, because I run a lot of extra things. Like I have a Patreon that also connects to like a shop as well. So I'm running those 2 things as well. And then a ton of other like back end stuff that I do. On top of that, like I edit all my own videos, so I don't have a team or
You see like
anything
editing, so
helping me. You know, I get tons of emails every day too, that I have to respond to, events that I'm going to, planning and stuff. and then balancing that with like personal life too. It's very hectic. So by the time I actually do get time to make a video, like my ideas and cool videos and stuff, I do kind of get put on the back burner, and then I just end up doing an opening because that's like what my channel's based around primarily.
Just open some packs. Yeah.
Exactly.
You had a video about I think it was 4, 5, 6 months ago. You played one of my favorite recent decks, Gardevoir.
Oh, like the baby Gardevoir?
Yeah.
Chicken Parm. That was
I like that. I like that deck. I like that card.
I love those types of videos. I think they're so fun. And they're actually relatively easy to edit for me in comparison to openings because they're very like fluid. Whereas openings, anything can happen, and I edit a lot of like memes and jokes into my videos. But yeah, I would love to do more TCG content, especially for sure.
There you go. That's a lot of people want it, so give it to them.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
When you have time, of course.
They're lining up in droves. They're sweeping the nation. They want more blue.
There is something that I'm announcing later in the month that will make a lot more sense as to why I've been struggling so much the past year. Huh?
Oh, just a little,
Also, I'm traveling somewhere next week too, and that's unrelated to, casting or whatever, as well. So there's a lot of like background projects as well that I'm like, I can't even talk about yet. So it's hard to be like, people are like, where are you, boo? You haven't posted in like a month. And I'm like, I swear I am like working to the bone. So
sitting around eating Cheetos. Don't worry.
I wish.
You guys heard it here first on the Gust podcast. Frosted Caribou has secret projects going on she can't talk about. Big projects in the works. Things are happening. You guys heard it here first.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to be moving soon too, so that's gonna just be another monkey
the packing, the hauling.
I did that last year.
Haul and cube, baby. Haul and cube.
And I didn't even move out of state. I moved literally up the street. I moved 10 minutes away from where I am now. And it's, oh my gosh.
Well, I've obtained a lot more things since I've lived here. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I definitely did not have before. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy to have to move everything.
All right, I'm looking through.
You want to tackle another question? Or?
I'm looking through them right now, and a lot of them are things we've already covered, like getting into casting and stuff like that.
Perfect.
I'll do half of Ray's question. The first question he asked about how do you start playing, and blah blah blah. But the non-Pokemon, semi-Pokemon related question they put is, who did your Boo TCG card? They are lit, and I wanted to design one myself.
That is Keith. Wait, hang on. Let me see exactly what his Twitter ad is so I can show you. Keith is like an amazing artist and super, like, he's my favorite Pokemon artist, like, by far. Okay, so the Twitter at for Keith is Keith, so Keith, and then Montalbo, I think is how you say the last name. Montalbo. That is the artist who is behind that beautiful card. He did my first card too, and then did the updated version as well.
Your first card? Do you have a first card?
Yeah, my first card. It was me before I had bangs, so I have no bangs and my hair's lighter. And then I had a Psyduck on me as well.
Okay, I might have to look that one up. Is that on your Twitter or was that?
I mean, I can grab it if you want to see it.
Yeah, I've never seen the first card. Okay.
Oh, actually, it won't even show. My camera is like a fixed focus, so it actually won't even show you. I'll find a picture of it for you and put it in the chat, Gazer.
Okay.
Perfect.
Appreciate that.
So that's the last of the Q&A. Cool. At this point in time, the floor is yours. Any plugs, any shout outs, anything you want to say to the people out there listening?
The people. Well, first of all, thank you both for inviting me.
Thanks for randomly coming into my stream. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be creeping you. Get ready for it.
I've been mostly active on YouTube the past few weeks, but I've been bad. I've been playing Fortnite with the boys on Twitch.
The boys.
It's been so much fun. I don't know why. I always hated Fortnite, and then I started playing the no build, and I'm like, oh, I like this game. It's fun.
You dig it. I feel that. Actually not, because I don't play Fortnite at all, but I can understand that in a different sense with other games.
There you go.
Like, that's how I am with Unite a lot of times. I like play it hardcore and then I just stop for like 2 months straight.
Oh yeah.
But
It's fun to pick it
yeah.
up and then you get into like bad matchmaking queues and you're like, oh, I hate this game.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm done. Or I think like playing with other people also like has a lot to do with that too.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
having a full party versus solo queuing
Yeah,
into
sometimes
people who just
solo.
like don't even follow a lane and just go off and
I'm gonna
do
go
whatever.
jungle.
Yeah, it's
I'll go
pretty
jungle.
bad.
I'll go jungle too.
Yeah, yeah, you have 4 people on your team going jungle. But yeah, I forgot what we were even talking about.
The floor is yours. Shout outs,
just
plugs.
wow, to plug myself. I'm so bad at plugging, but yeah, I'm just Frosted Caribou on everything except for Instagram is Frosted Pokeboo. I also have my own shop too. I sell like cute stickers and pins. I work with Jordan, my artists, and we collab on things, and it's super awesome. Pokemon related stuff. So
Yeah, I saw the Squirtle Squad pin today. I was like, that's
I've
cute.
seen that.
That's cute.
It's so cute. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. TCG pins, so nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So yeah, links will be in the description. They're already here if you're watching on YouTube, but if you're listening to the pod on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple, links always down in the description below, as well as all of our other socials and stuff for Gazer and I. Gazer, what do you have to say at the moment?
I just want to say this was awesome. Shelby's been a great chance. It's been great to talk to you. I don't want to say you're so much more down to earth than I thought, but I'm like, hey, she's big time, you know. I gotta watch what I say. We gotta, you know. Sue and I talked earlier. You know, we debriefed earlier. Like, okay, we gotta watch what we say. We have to act differently. We can't be ourselves. We are totally ourselves.
Yeah, we were completely ourselves. I think we were both a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you serious?
A smidge, a little smidge. It's, you know, sometimes I get mad and I swear a tiny little bit, but it's never anything like crazy or whatever. Like, you know, I don't think we've dropped the F-bomb on the podcast or whatever. I don't think we've done that.
Didn't your Doom do that one time?
Oh yeah, Doom did. Yeah, Doom did. But so whatever. But we didn't do that, you know.
Yeah, if anything, I'm more clean than Steuben.
Yeah, Gazer, I don't know, man.
Most aspects, most.
You gotta watch some of his VODs on Twitch because this man is ridiculous.
It's wild. It's wild.
You got to see Gazer Moon's transformation if you haven't.
Wow.
I'm glad there's not a lot of like clips or anything from when I played Dark Souls.
So you were expletives.
Rage? Was it Rage?
Yeah, it took me like I think it was like 20 something hours to beat Pontiff in it. So
oh man.
Yeah, definitely not at all what I'd allow on my YouTube.
I met a Primetime Wizard. I don't know if you know who he is, Boo, but so you know Primetime.
Yes,
I met Primetime Wizard a couple weekends ago, and his streams are all like he's all upbeat and you know he's It's not even PG rated. It's G rated. He's all upbeat and there's no bad words. I met him in real life. Oh my gosh, we're at the card shops, we're at restaurants. He's just I'm like, this is Primetime Wizard, you know, off the records. Okay, this is nice. This is cool. But no, just the fact that Soup and I were able to be ourselves means you're just more. I don't want to say more down to earth than we thought. We thought you were like a really cool person, just, you know, not big headed or anything like oh, my ego, but just the fact that we were just able to really completely be ourselves, let loose, and the fact that I'm sure you had a good time. This is your typical podcast. It's a little different.
Yeah, but, this was
just
great.
Thank you for the time, the opportunity, and the chance to speak with you, ask you a few questions. This was great. This was dope.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys felt that same way. That's cool because the same way here. So
thank you.
Great.
Well, I guess that's it. We're done. We did it.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Again, links to everything will be down in the description below. If you're on Spotify or Apple, don't forget to leave us a review. Help more people find the podcast. Share it with your friends. Spam it in Discord servers. Retweet the tweets. Follow us on Twitter. Gust of Wind Pod. All that nonsense. Follow Gazer on Twitch. And eventually, if he ever decides to make YouTube content, follow him there. Or subscribe. And then, of course,
subscribe.
You know, all that.
I don't know how you guys do it.
It's fun. It has its moments.
And thanks to everyone who came out to watch too.
Yeah. Shout out to the live chat. We used to do these on Twitch, if you guys all remember from the past, but we've been doing it live on YouTube. We'll probably go back and forth in the future. Just depends on like the guest. I think honestly, it makes the most sense depending on where most of their community could potentially be. So we'll play it by ear on those. But yeah, that's it. As always, I'm Steuben, joined by my partner in crime, Gazerbeam. Thank you, Boo, for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
See you guys next week.
Peace. See y'all.
All right. Now we can break the fourth wall with the chat.
Let's go. Let's talk about everything. Okay, so
Break the fourth wall.
Yeah. It's breaking. So like we did a little bit, but it's breaking the fourth wall. Because technically it's a podcast first before
I know what you mean.
a video or whatever.
Yo, I gotta shout out everybody in the chat. Yo, shout out to Pokey Sunny, thank you for
Is
taking the night off to
Pokey
help us
here?
out.
Yeah.
Yay.
She's been in here the entire time.
I should just open the chat, maybe.
That's the one thing I like about YouTube chat versus Twitch is that like if you come into it now, like it's all there.
See everything.
And like I was afraid that like we might have needed like extra mod staff, and like everyone's been super awesome tonight. I don't think there was a single.
Well, Sonny wanted to ban me one time. He said jail gazer, so I didn't like that. But he also said blame gazer. There's a blame gazer going on. There's like a few going on.
There's a few. That's normal.
I felt that's normal.
That's normal. Yeah, it's all about.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all about blame gazer. The shirts are coming. We're still working on a design, but it'll have the pod logo, and it'll underneath it. It'll be like hashtag blame gazer. Yeah.
Just take my gazer logo and put like a big cancel sign over it.
If you can give me
Circle,
Pasp's emote, the scam one. If you can get me like the original picture of that, like at a good quality where I could crop in there and not blow it up to be all pixely, I would just put that on there with the SpongeBob hat on. I'd have to cover up the SpongeBob or whatever and just make it yellow or whatever.
Just black it out, make it a silhouette, and then put an X over it.
No, because someone will take that the wrong way and see things that they shouldn't see.
Why do they make Blazer black?
No. Just like last week, you were like, "Oh, I forgot. Steuben, didn't you know I was an African American?" I was like, "No, Gazer, I had no idea."
Okay, I'm gonna open chat now. Uh-oh. Wait, I don't want it to start playing the audio though.
We won't hear it.
Just gotta mute it. Yeah.
No, I'm saying it might come through my. It's okay. I'll mute it quickly.
Yeah, just mute.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I muted it. Okay, sweet. Oh, now I'm.
Let me say something.
Oh, Basil's in here too.
Yep. Yeah. We have a lot. Some of them want to call themselves windbags for whatever reason. Like the fans of the pod, they want to call themselves the windbags. And I'm like, no.
Windbags.
They want to be the windbags. That's no.
That's a name, I guess.
Hashtag I'm a windbag.
The Gusters sounds cooler.
Okay. I have the first card. Oh, okay, so some people are talking about the cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, RVD said he won one from a giveaway.
Yeah, I do giveaways. Or every time I did giveaways, like I would send them out for sure. I'm a windbag.
Hashtag I'm a windbag.
Yeah.
Stupid. I kind of like it. Kind of
really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the Boo endorsement
Windbags.
On proud windbags. Oh my god.
I mean, what else would you call it? I guess.
Gusters, winders.
The winders.
The wind.
Winders, windpipes. That one's worse.
Yeah.
I like the windbag.
Oh dang!
I don't really get it.
Dang it!
Oh, there's Basil. Hey, Basil.
Yeah, we're stuck with it now. Look at what you've done.
Yeah. You can't ignore it now.
Put that on the shirt too. Hashtag windbags.
No, not hashtag windbags. Oh, no.
I'm gonna put that on a post. Like, thanks so much. That's the wind. I'm a proud windbag. Now.
No.
Officially a windbag. Yo, I'd wear that in a hat easily.
All right, we're making hats now.
Windbag.
If I can sell one, then I've sold all of them.
It's just like
Pokey merch. Windbag merch now.
Pokey Dad's kind of keep wanting to give me a Pokey Dad hat. I'm the honorary Pokey Dad.
There you go. Blame the windbags.
Blame the windbags.
Oh jeez.
Windbags.
What have we done? What have we started? We're horrible.
Some good marketing. That's what you started.
Good marketing. I agree.
Good marketing.
We're the worst Pokemon podcast of all.
That's so funny.
Those guys, they can't stick to one subject. They never get their guests enough time to talk. That gazer guy's always making a lame joke.
They're
Stupid never
called
smiles.
windbags.
They're called windbags.
Never smiles. I've been laughing all night. Thank you. And in order to smile, you have to laugh or no. I said that backwards.
No,
Never
yeah,
mind. Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
In order to laugh, you gotta smile.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not right.
I guess it'd be weird if you're just like ha 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 ha.
Just a stone faced grimace the entire
Hard to do
time.
that. Oh my gosh, that reminds. Have you guys seen? Maybe you haven't seen it because I doubt you watch the Go events for regionals or whatever.
Grimace.
Right?
I thought you were gonna talk about the adult Happy Meal because I have the birdie. I have the birdie. It's cursed.
Why? Oh,
I wanted the grimace.
Why?
I wanted the grimace. I got chicken nuggets yesterday.
what's it called? Like
Chicken
plant
nuggets.
farm. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I was
Cactus plant farm.
like,
Happy
cactus
Meal, something, whatever it
plant
is.
flea market. I was like, I don't know what the hell that means. What is this? When I saw the 4-eyed grimace, I was like, I gotta have this thing. I didn't get it. I got stupid birdie.
You got birdie.
Oh, you
But no,
can't
Boo.
pick. You can't pick it.
They're
it's
like a
random?
blind bag inside of the box.
Oh,
But no,
lame.
Boo, you said it. Did we see what now?
Oh yeah. Do you want? I said I doubt you watch the Pogo events, right? Like at regionals, like the
I've seen
Pogo.
it in a little
stream?
bit. I didn't watch a whole lot. I watched a little bit.
In the
There's this-
morning
What
before the TCG stream starts, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I was watching too before the TCG. I was watching Pogo, kind of try to learn from it. But the Pogo casters are super cool. But at our little caster dinner that we had, they were talking about this person who has like, if you go to like the Pogo Twitch channel, it's like I think it's literally like Pokemon_Go or something. There's this clip that's hilarious, and it's called. I think his name is Trent. I want to say it might be Trenton. I don't know, but it's like Trent uses glare or something, and it's so hilarious because it's this Pogo player who, like, I guess the cameras you can tell when they're on you because the camera will light up like
Mhm.
when they're activating that on stream, and the Pogo player just stares in the camera and I swear does not move, doesn't even blink or anything for like a
That's so
minute
creepy.
straight.
That's
It
so
was
creepy.
this. I have to find it now. It's so funny because they're talking about his list and stuff because it pops up next to him, and they're just like, is it frozen? Like what's happening right now? But it's just
It's not
because he's
frozen. It's
staring
still a live
straight at
feed.
the camera. Yeah, it was
Oh,
like
Lord.
the funniest thing ever.
That's so
Oh my
creepy.
gosh.
Trent
Yeah,
used
I'm
glare.
gonna find
It was
it
super
now.
effective. Whole audience was paralyzed.
Yeah, like the comment or whatever is so funny on there. All right, let me find it.
That's so good.
I'll post it for y'all so you can see
Yeah,
it.
let's
And
do that.
stuff like that from like the live streams like lives forever as memes.
Yes.
And that's like the best part of the
It's
whole
so
thing.
funny. So funny. I'm going to it.
Like
Man, it's
want to
so
make,
hilarious watching the like lickitongues go against each other in Pokemon Go.
yeah, they're just kind of flying all over the place.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
The
They
one
just
one-
look so funny.
what was
licking.
the Lickitung card from like End of Sun and Moon era? Its attack was like Licks Go Crazy
Let's
or
go
whatever.
crazy. Yeah,
Licks
let's go
go
crazy.
crazy.
Oh no, that was Lick a Licky, wasn't it though?
Licky licky. Let's go
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. What was one energy, discard a
It was
stadium?
2 energy. It was
Yeah.
2. Discard a stadium. No. Discard a card from their hand, a card from the deck, and an energy. Something like that.
Oh man, give us that.
Dubin, can I
back.
post a link in your chat?
Yeah,
or
you
no?
should. You should be able to. I don't see why I wouldn't let you.
Oh, why didn't it post as a link though? Let me see if that works. Yeah, so there's the link for you all. Can you see it?
Mm-mm. Did it auto mod you?
Wait, did it mod me? Auto mod me?
It might have. I don't know. I don't see it.
Dude, how dare you auto mod?
Well, I'll just put it in
You
our
know who she
chat,
is?
Steuben. I'll put it in our
Yeah,
DM,
and then
you can put it
I
in
can
there.
just drop it in there. Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah, it's Trent uses glare. So funny. Yeah, the Pogo people are great. I hope their game grows because it's pretty cool actually. After like talking about them, learning more about it.
There we
Definitely definitely cool.
There we go.
It's just hard to get into, huh?
Yeah, I think it is. It's very like if you play Pogo, I don't think it's hard because you already have tons of Pokemon. But...
Yeah, I guess the bot that I have for
Yes,
the, for the
User View. He moves nothing. Nothing moves.
What?
He's just staring.
LOL, Trent. Stare. Trent stare burns through shields.
I don't even think my the Streamlabs bot showed up the entire stream in the chat now that I think about it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't show up as a link either. Like I posted it in there, but it was just text. So
That's weird.
maybe I'm just like banned.
He went 40 seconds with just.
I know.
Alright, that is cool.
It's even funnier because they're like talking about his team and they're just like, what the heck is going on? It's so funny.
They need to
He's still breathing. You're right.
Could you imagine like the filthy Frank glare? Like just like that chin down, eye up, like menacing look. Someone needs to do that next.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever happen on the TCG.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing. He's just like dead eyes staring at the camera like, please get that thing out of my face.
I wanted to make a meme about poor Cal's Sobble. Like, you know, in Dragon Ball Z when Yamcha gets blown up by the Saba Man and Yamcha's in that crater just balled up. I want to put a Sobble there like that.
Too soon.
Hey, Cal's my boy, so I don't want to make Cal sad. So I want to do it. But I want to put a Sobble in a crater and just.
I know. Cal deserved the dub for sure. It's okay, especially because he bubbled into top 8.
He almost bubbled out again. I think his last 2 events he bubbled out. I'm like, poor Cal.
No. So for at Worlds, he got to compete. So he like was able to compete to try to make it into top 8, but he lost that match. But
that's right. This was, yes.
No, but I think he bubbled into another regional like in the season or whatever. But yeah, because that last match that we watched tie on stream, the Gudra versus what other deck was it?
Was that the double Goo matchup?
It was no, it wasn't double Goo. It was Gudra versus I think it was just Palkia.
I think it was Kiram.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Against one of those. Tied. So because of that, we had a bubbling situation. So it was supposed to be like 35 points, but Cal made it in at 34. Bubbled in, which was bomb, and then almost won the whole event, which would have been a crazy story, Would have been crazy. For show.
RV says the last 3 before he placed 9th. Dang, Cal.
Oof.
Someone should just embrace it and make like Bubble Boy shirts.
Yeah.
Or Bubble Buddy from SpongeBob.
Oh,
Bubble
just
Buddy.
with Cal's face on it,
on Bubble Buddy, yeah.
My God, that's so funny.
We should make that. We should make that
Bubble Buddy.
Dead Sobble. Poor Cal.
Bubble Buddy.
PJ listens. I'm sure he'll hear it and be like, "That's a good idea. We'll make that a thing."
Just the Bubble Buddy with a little Sobble, like as the little pet.
I mean, you could tell Doom to make that a thing, Emmy. That'd be funny.
Tell Doom we need those. We need either Bubble Buddy or we need that Sobble in a crater. One of the 2.
Did you see Doom's new like Butterfree etymology playmat?
No, I saw he tweeted about it.
Oh, dude, it's so cool. I want it, but I can't stay up that late. I can't stay up that late to play in Tournament of Doom.
Tournament of Doom.
I can't do it.
Oh, no. No.
Oh man, all right. It's 10 o'clock now. Let's
yes,
it's only 7 over here.
I was gonna say it's 9 o'clock.
Excuse me, you elitists in your time zones.
10 o'clock.
Central time.
Meta manipulation, more like time zone manipulation. Oh my God.
That's great.
Oh yeah, Will says 11 a.m. Yeah, you're on the other side of the world though. You're in the future. You're in the future. Future. We're all just SpongeBob memes.
Are you all going to SLC?
I wish. I probably won't be able to go to anything until maybe Knoxville or
Oh wow, okay.
Fort Wayne.
I think I'll be hitting. I'm gonna hit everything on the West Coast. So you think I'll go to LSC, but SLC, but I'm not. I'm gonna go to Portland. I'm gonna go to San Diego. We'll see where NAIC is. That'll be fun. And I want to go to one East Coast, one far East, just to get out there and meet all my East homies and homeboys.
Isn't there one in North Carolina? I think
Charlotte. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or Florida would be a cool one too. Orlando.
And 9 cards here. Steuben, talk to your friend. He's not.
He says hi everyone, but Gazer.
Talk to Nick. Talk to Nick.
Nick's in here. Nick, did you watch where I roasted you?
He must not have, because he would have said something for sure. But now he will. You got roasted.
And Nick, head back to what was that? Maybe the 20-minute mark.
You got roasted.
5-minute mark. Yeah.
No, I requested it to be put on to the boxing list. the battle list because you didn't give me any cookies, Nick.
Double header event where you fight Nick and Mahone.
Yes, exactly. I take them both.
Whew. Just imagine with the championship belt, just flexing, just like I'm the champion.
Yes, yeah.
Winner. You're reigning champion. But no, Boo, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you all. You're so great to talk to as well. I
Yeah,
would
I'll
love
just say,
to. I think there's like, I don't know. I think that people sometimes have a lot of like preconceived notions of me or whatever, or who I am. So it's cool to get out on like more podcasts and stuff. And I I'm very much in a different circle, I think, than a lot of the other casters. Not that it's bad or anything, but I definitely would like to bring a lot of newer energy into Pokemon TCG.
I
That
think
makes sense.
I think it needs it. Like we've been
yeah,
like
Yep.
even though the
Mhm.
game's been growing, I still see like I said earlier, the article mentality of like paywall this, paywall that, and like sure,
Elitism.
I get people have to make money. I get that, but at the same time, like paywall articles, like what was that? We had YouTube at the time. We had other media forms, but yet everything was paywall articles behind like 6 prizes and
Mhm.
all those other ones like Pojo and stuff like that. I hope we never go back to those days, and I don't think we can. But at the same time, like
No.
just like the mindset of the people from then, like this game is mine and better dimes. Like,
Well, but also like I think it's kind of whack when you see I'm not going to call anybody out here, of course, but when there's like people making YouTube videos of like this is the play for XYZ event and then they play a completely different deck, you
yeah,
know?
yep, no,
Like they'll go
I'm
through
with you.
like top 5 decks and then they'll play something else, you know? And I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of like it's kind of lame." Cuz like I mad respect people who are like this is my 60 I'm playing and then
yeah.
they play that 60. You know what I mean? And even if they change it or whatever, it's like, "Oh, I decided to swap this out or whatever at last minute." But it's not like they're changing an entire list, you know what I
Yeah, like
mean?
if it's 58 of the same cards, then yeah,
Yeah.
okay, you get a pass. But if it's
Mhm.
a whole
Yeah, much
different
It's a
deck,
whole
then
respect.
different
yeah.
deck. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
at that point, it's meta manipulation. Honestly, that people say that's not a real term, but I mean, it is.
it is. It's a term. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like
People get
misleading
looked
your
up to.
audience,
Like people
you
look up
know?
to a lot of those players and creators, and like it doesn't do everybody
And I'm like, how do
good.
you not feel bad too?
Yeah,
Because, or at least if you're gonna say like, hey, this is what I would pick if I was like more inexperienced or something, maybe. Like I'm playing a different deck or something because of whatever reason. I just don't want to put that out there because I want to keep my deck secret. That's totally fine. But don't just say like these are the best decks, blah 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 blah, and then you actually go to the event and like play something
Play
completely
none of them.
different.
Neither of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kinda it's just like the lack of transparency is, also an issue in that sense as well, Subin.
hmm a lot of
Yeah.
those like big groups of like friend players that are like constantly day twoing, but yet don't say the right things to the right people at the right time. I don't know. I I don't ever want to like get like that. Like with the,
Nah.
I like I do physical card profiles of like decks that I'm like actually playing and involved with,
Yeah.
and like I was like if I was going, I would play this 60. I couldn't go, but like yeah, I would have 100% played 58 or 59 of those same 60 cards that I posted last week. But
Yeah.
who knows?
I'm just glad you guys stay humble. Not letting the fame get to your heads.
What? Okay, first of all, I no, not me. No, no. I do this for
You're not
fun.
humble. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, Gazer. Hmm. I love you. I'm humble, but like no, I mean like I don't ever want to be like one of those like raging like elitists. I don't. I
Oh my
don't. I
gosh.
don't. I like. There's no point. Like I am 33 years old. I don't have time
Yeah,
for it. Like
good point.
I don't have time for that crap.
Yeah, or like again, not saying any names here, but you know,
Mhm.
someone loses a match or whatever and goes on Twitter and like says is yeah, like you said, Subin just starts raging using like pretty whack language and
Mm-hmm.
such, and it's just
No.
like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me right now? That's like the worst example to set at like I understand being upset with losses and stuff, but yeah, a lot of the people who are competitive pro players are not who I would want to be looking up to. That's for sure.
No. I mean,
Not
like,
at all.
and it seems like every other week somebody says or does something wrong, and they try to brush it underneath the rug.
Oh,
Like-
yeah. There's a lot of favoritism for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, well, this person's cool because they're my friend, so who cares? Or, oh, let's just completely ignore it because they're a cool person or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And that's what I'm saying. And I mean, I think that's why I get the opportunity to kind of go against the grain a lot, because I'm not like backstage rubbing shoulders with people or like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna, you do me a favor, I'll do you a favor. Like, no. Homie,
And like we've had various different people on the pod, and like some of our favorite ones are like the little guys.
Yeah.
Like For the Win TCG. I absolutely love his vibe and energy. Mitch from the Sable Eyes. Like
yeah, Mitch is
always not doing the same thing as everybody else. Like you'll go through PokeTube one day and you're like, all right, this person all uploaded towards deck today. Cool.
Yeah,
do we need that though? Because like, first of all, they put it on Twitter within seconds of winning.
Yeah.
Do we need 47 videos about the same exact 60 cards as a community?
I don't think we need any more than 30, 32, right? No more than that.
I mean, more than a couple is overkill. And I get it that everybody wants to be the first to do something or the first to cover it, but like the thing is, someone's already done it before you, no matter how fast you are.
It's working against innovation, really.
Yeah,
is what it is.
yeah. It prevents people from building new decks and creating things. Like if everybody covered different things all the time, then maybe we'd have a more diverse game and a more accepting and open community. Like Pokemon compared to things like Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, on the surface level, it's still pretty freaking wholesome. But like the more and more the game grows, like people just like just elitists come out, and then the game is getting too big for its britches.
Yeah, I agree. And it's frustrating too sometimes because people will be like, oh, well, it's adults playing Pokemon. What do you expect? Of course they're immature or whatever. And it's just like, and yeah, it really hurts our hobby quite a lot because like
Never heard that one.
we just get written off,
Never heard that one.
'cause- Really? I hear that all the time. People are
Yeah.
like, oh, well, you're playing a
I've heard-
6-year-old player.
Yeah, I've heard this.
card
It's a
game,"
children's
or-
card game. I heard that, but I
Yeah.
never heard this. Adults playing Pokemon? Of course you're gonna be immature. I never heard that one.
That's why we have age
Yeah.
divisions, ding dongs. Like they separate the kids from the older kids from the old kids.
It's from the older kids, from the older kids.
From the older kids.
Like honestly, instead of it being Masters Division, they should just call it Seniors Division. They should just change it. They really should. Like we're all what did JW
we're
say?
seniors.
We're senior citizens if you're over 25 and playing Pokemon.
Senior citizens.
That's so funny. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, yeah. It's very, very like clicky for sure. It's very clicky.
Yeah, and it's hard to grow as a creator too. It really is. Like if you're not in
Yeah.
those circles and whatnot. So like if you're off doing your own thing on the beaten path, and like it's a struggle sometimes, especially with like Twitch recently, the late night tournaments. Like you have 4,000 people streaming the same tournament at the same time. All the creators like that don't get the views, like probably should get the views, and they deserve it more because it's just more diverse. But yeah, you can all watch the same 5 people play the same 3 decks so many times.
Dang, so grim. And then they won't play that deck at the tournament, right?
Yep.
You guys aren't wrong. I can't say you're wrong.
Gazer, you're just like,
When there's a big tournament, like I'm sure what's going on Twitter on Twitch right now? I'm pretty sure the late night's happening, right? So I'm pretty sure people are streaming that, and tons of people are taking eyes off each other. But then, assuming you're right, everybody turn around and plays the same deck, and
Yeah.
that's where all the views, that's where all the eyes go, and it's
And there's a lot of individual creators who actually have a personality and just don't ever get the time of day. But like I hate to say it, but some of the big names, they're boring to watch. They're boring to watch on stream. Like
you were just saying anything you want to today.
What? First of all, when don't I say whenever I want to?
I mean, it is really a personal preference.
Yeah, everyone's alled to have it. Like if you want,
it's not like we're roasting them. We're
no,
just saying,
no. If you
like
I would rather Yeah, personally, I'd rather see somebody be more engaging with their community and an audience versus, all right, I'm gonna play this card. Okay, cool. I'm playing this card. Just different strokes for different folks.
This card. Yeah, everyone has different
True.
preferences. I'm
That's
just joking.
true.
What's
That's
up,
for
On
sure
Guard?
true.
On Guard in the building.
Exactly.
Well,
Winners Guild.
I mean, the same thing happens too, honestly, in like the collector community or like box openings as well. Like it's gotten to the point where, you know, people are so used to like consuming as many packs being opened, you know, per minute or whatever as possible that like if you're taking your time with the packs or making jokes or whatever, like my videos are, they'll be like, oh, she goes too slow. Oh, she talks too much. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But like that's what adds like actual personality to your videos, you know what I mean? I'm not there to be a machine and just open packs for you.
Yeah,
I've seen
you're
Brad do
giving
that for,
like
like,
full
years.
entertainment value out of
Yeah.
those booster packs versus like, all right, cool, I got a $5 V star.
yeah, yeah.
If I grade a 10, I'm making stonks. Like, and then like I hate it too with like Pokemon TikTok and like and YouTube Shorts.
Oh,
is
I don't
just
have a
like,
TikTok. So
oh
I don't
yeah,
see
like
those.
I like the algorithms will figure out what you like super fast or whatever, and it's like it knows I like Pokemon and Pokemon content, and then like it tries to give me like videos of like, all right, I just bought this $60 first edition pincer. I'm gonna go outside and curb stomp it and take it to CGC and regrade it. What's my profit margin? And then like I don't care. You do you, but don't make me watch this. I want to see somebody talk about like the gameplay. And like there's like none of that when in short form content. If not, it's just impossible to find.
Oof. Yeah, I refuse to get into short form content like that either. Like it'd be super easy. I'd probably make a lot of money from it, but it's just not my jam.
I've been doing like the occasional like daily pack opening for a short, and it's really good to get people to come to the channel and like, oh cool, oh you play the game, you talk about the decks, you can build with the cards you're getting from your packs, cool different ball game. But like you know, it's not just like, oh cool, here we go, it's worth $7,000 if I reverse grade it.
Even just that adds a lot of depth to it. Just saying like, hey, this is what you could play this in, or like blah blah blah. Like that's what I started doing in my videos.
Yeah.
And
Like
it's
I cracked
gotten so many people into the game.
I've been doing what I've been calling bussin' or bulk, and like I hit a non-hollow Comfy in a pack, and I was like, this is bussin'. This is a $2 card, but at the same time, like it's a 4 of in any of these decks that want to play it. It's super good. And then people are like, why are you getting excited over a non-hollow rare? And I was just like, because it's a good card. And yet people get excited over a Delphox V. Like I
watched I don't want to drop any. I'm gonna do like you guys now. I don't want to say any names. I was watching a couple of YouTubers, and you know they're opening, and they're just they're breakers, so opening packs and anything like that. Like, oh okay, Palkia V. Okay, this is worth a couple bucks, right? They look it up, like $10. This is worth $10. I'm like, yes, it's very playable. Of course, it's worth $10.
Yeah, that happened when Crobat was a thing. Like I was trying so hard to pull Crobat because like I didn't want to have to buy it because it's so expensive. Yeah. And like I was trying to get the full art one, and it's like someone else, like a pack breaker or whatever opener, pulled it and was like, oh cool, throws it to the side. But then they get like so excited over some like useless VMAX that was like
VMAX, yo,
it's the Orbeetle.
Like I get getting excited over Charizard. Like
okay, I take that back. You're right.
That's everyone's thing is Charizard.
Right.
That's
right.
Well, and I mean, technically, and that's the thing too is like if you're getting excited because it's like your favorite Pokemon and you pulled it, or it's your goal card and you pulled it. If you're just getting excited because it's a secret rare or a rainbow and it's just like happens to be like the rarest card or whatever, and that's it. It's just like it's not really the same,
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of people like over appreciate the Altart Giratina and Aerodactyl recently too. Like they're pretty cards, but do they really justify those price points? I think that's just like collector hype and content pushing those cards at those prices.
Are you talking about the V, the Giratina V?
Yeah, the Altart Giratina V, the Aerodactyl.
I'm not even a huge fan of that artwork.
It's a pretty card, but I don't think it justifies the $200 price point for it.
$200?
They're like $200 on average, yeah.
Yeah.
And like the same thing happened with Palkia and Dialga's arts from before. Like they were over $100 when the set first came out, and now they're both like $40 a piece.
Wow.
And it's just like I think they intentionally inflate cards to make themselves feel better about like the profit margins of booster packs being opened.
I really did not like the Palkia
Giratina?
the Palkia alt art. That one I just
the
thought, like, what
MC Escher, everything going on all at
Oh,
once.
Yeah, I just thought it was like super ugly. The colors were just so bland, you know.
Like a chessboard almost.
Yes,
okay.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
I had a
It's-
chessboard on it.
It might be, yeah.
I like
It's
the
okay.
colorful alt arts a lot most of the time.
Oh, like I love like Greed and V alt art. Like I love all the character and personality. Like all the different
Guys
little
are-
Greedents have their own
Ooh,
emotions.
Ice
No,
and-
Rider.
Think about
Yeah.
it. Think about it. No.
The Ice Rider.
Beedrill V.
Oh, that one's
Mhm.
wait.
the
That's the
f-
one that's like with all the Beedrills and like the horde.
Yeah, and the flower
Yeah.
field
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
That one's nice. Or like the evolution alt arts were all really nice.
Mhm.
Those were good for sure. Yeah, when it's showcasing like some super epic art, that's pretty sweet for sure. I would rather them get rid of rainbows than just do more alt arts, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
what everyone says.
But now
Yeah.
the new rainbows have like this like glittery effect on them that the other
Yeah, they're
ones
definitely
haven't.
better for sure.
Yeah, they just
The new
changed it
one.
with this set. That's kind of weird. They're like, I was like, oh, why is this extra glittery and shimmery? Yeah, so
Oh,
different.
see, I wouldn't know that because
Look.
I haven't pulled. I haven't even opened Lost Origin actually at all,
What was it that we pulled?
except online.
Was it the sisters? I think it was Misfortune Sisters.
It was all rainbowy and glittery and
Mhm.
shiny.
Ew.
I haven't noticed. I haven't seen. Well, maybe do I have any rainbows? I
Yeah,
haven't
I need
noticed
to
either way
look
though.
at
I've
it
not
then.
noticed.
Yeah, next
need
time
to
you
look
have
for
rainbows in hand, compare ones from Lost Origin to the other recent sets, and they're a little bit different. They're definitely a little
I'll
bit
that's
do
different.
that.
YouTube
If I
shorts
pull
too.
one in a video, I'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll make that a short. Show it off.
Yeah, true.
All right, yeah, and then I become my own enemy at that point in time, talking about like the foil patterns, and then it turns into a whole like different tangent of like, oh, now I have to go down this rabbit hole because the algorithm wants this. Nope.
You
I
gotta
mean,
feed the algorithm. You gotta give it what it wants, man.
There's nothing wrong with the monetary side of the hobby, and there's definitely a place for it. And I just think at any aspect of the hobby, if you're getting into like toxic behaviors related to it, it's gonna be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Regardless of
That's what
playing,
it comes down to.
collecting, breaking, selling, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Once you get to your behaviors are like icky or
Like,
becoming a bad person.
Gazer and I
Yeah.
we have a discount code for codes for our friend Fury over on Twitch, and he's like the most wholesome breaker there is.
I want to call him wholesome. The most down to earth.
Yes, down to earth. Yes, sure. he can say like, you know, he'll swear and he'll scream when he pulls stuff, but like he's super engaging and entertaining to watch compared to like PokeRev or whatever. Like I just like I'll name drop at that point. Like I don't care, whatever.
Yo, and you know what sucks about this is I saw firsthand the PokeRev like personality come across in a kid because my nephew, he turns 10 this month and he's into Pokemon, but like he says only collecting cards. I'm like, oh, that's
Aw.
cool. And like I asked him about what cards he likes, what Pokemon he likes or whatever, and he only gravitates toward, oh, how much money is this card?
Oh.
Like Aunt Shelby, oh, how much does this cost? Oh, can I get this graded and stuff? And the only person he watches is PokeRev. Like, I don't even think he watches my videos. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, especially because it's like a 10-year-old kid. Like, why should they care about like money at that point? It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I keep emphasizing to him, I'm just like, don't you want to know like how to actually play the cards? Or like, I could teach you how to play, take you to a tournament, you could play and stuff, but he just has like no interest in it. He just wants to know like what's the shiniest, what's worth the most amount of money and stuff. And it's just like breeding a really not good mentality, I think, for the younger generation, I suppose.
That's not
So,
fun.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of the crypto bros and whatnot are kind of to blame for all that, honestly. The whole wave. Oh yeah, because I mean that content's everywhere too, especially in short form, and just like you just see kids all day long just scrolling through TikTok and stuff, and it's just there. Like it gives it to, even though like you're a 14-year-old kid, it's like, oh cool, you're old enough to sign up for the app. Here's a bunch of half naked women and a bunch of crypto bro currency information. Like It's just a bunch of conditioning to these kids at these ages that like think it's the cool thing to do, and it sucks.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they're looking at like, I'm gonna make stonks later on. Check this out. I get
Yeah.
you. Yeah, just wait. So yeah, I see what you're saying. My stepdaughter, Manaya, she collects. Her favorite Pokemon is Eevee, and she wants all the
Yeah.
evolutions and the V Maxes, the GX, whatever it is, all of it. Last weekend, I took her with me to a card shop, and she's been with me to a few card shops. She likes to look through the cards and try to organize them, just hang out for a little bit. But this card shop was already like organized, had everything set. She had been to this with me. They had everything they needed set. So she was kind of sitting there on her computer board, and I said, "Do you want to learn how to play the game?" I said, "Our judge here, our organizer, he plays with newer players." And she played with him. He played I forget what she had. He handed her some deck, and it was just some blase deck. And he played Lunatone, Soul Rock.
Oh, okay.
And she was amazed with how he's just grabbing energy and just putting it around. And she was like, "I gotta get that deck. I want to play that. I gotta get those cards. I gotta play that. I gotta beat him with that same deck." I'm like, "Whoa, slow down. It was your first time. Hold on, we're gonna help you out. We'll figure it out." So to see her actually excited about playing, she likes to collect, but to see her want to play, I'm like, that's cool. So
Yeah, that's super cool. That's great. I used to teach like kids how to play when I worked at my card shop, and yeah, it's very like
okay.
rewarding for
I'm glad you
sure.
didn't say you worked at the bar. So I was gonna say when you're a bartender, you just
No. Yeah, no kids at the bar. That's for sure.
That'd be funny to get a bunch of drunken adults. So like, hey, how many
Wanna
beers have you
play
had tonight? You want to play Pokemon? Yeah, well, you only live once.
I can't wait to get out of the town I'm in and into my new place to, find a local card shop, find my local players, and really get back into the scene because I haven't played like locally. Well, of course, there hasn't been like official tournaments locally, but there's always just like still locals. But I haven't gone to my card shop because I don't go to that card shop anymore. So if I want to even go to a card shop and play, it's like over an hour away, and it's just like, ugh, dang, I can't wait till I have an easier accessible, like,
Yeah,
scene.
like I work at a little shop in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, and like
Oh,
we're
that's cool.
growing the scene, and like I had 3 new people show up Friday, and I was so excited about it.
Oh, that's
So
great.
but like we average like 4 to 8 people, which is cool for middle of nowhere. But like if I wanted to go play somewhere else, I have to drive an hour.
Yeah.
None of the other shops around here at all
I
fire off
I
whatsoever.
miss my locals tonight for this podcast, which is worth it. And now I can't play in anything physical until tomorrow night.
Oh,
So
poor
Oh,
poor gazer.
little baby
I played
Violet.
last night, and I couldn't play tonight. I wanted to play, but I did this for us, Steuben, for you. So
Oh,
Yeah,
for
thank you for making the
me,
sacrifice,
yeah.
Gazer.
and
I
then so I can't play
appreciate it.
locally again until tomorrow, and then Thursday, and then Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. But that's like a long. I missed tonight, and I'll be okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, you
That's
look
so
No, it's
funny.
funny
every
though. This
day.
area,
Like he messages, like, "Oh, I'm going to locals tonight. You just went last night. I'm going again, different place." It's like I'm
Just rubbing
jealous.
it in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm
there's
jealous.
so many stores here. I had no idea. Here in Fresno, California, we have so many stores and shops, and some of them sell singles, and some don't, and some have leagues on this night, and some have leagues the same night of each other. And it's like there's literally Pokemon here every day. And I think on Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays, other shops have them at the same night. So it's like double league nights.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I had no idea. I was like, this is cool.
Do you all play any other games or like board games, card games, anything else?
I
Video
played.
games?
I was playing Digimon for a little bit.
Okay.
But it just got too toxic. So I stopped.
That sounds
See, I
Bandai.
was going to get into Digimon because of this guy, but then after he got out of it, I was like, well, I guess I'll.
It's
What's the point?
it's a really fun game at its core, but just like the way Bandai pushes the product so fast, and like every set's a silver bullet for the last set.
That's lame.
And then it's an eternal format, so like there's commons and rares from the first set from 2 years ago that are $10, $15, $20, $25 a piece. So like you need a
Eternal for long though, right?
like
Eventually
you need if you're playing red, you need at least 3 or 4 tie in your deck from set 1 to do this, but they're $18, $20 a piece. So like it's like super expensive in comparison, and most of their events are webcam based still, and there's just
True.
rampant cheating and drama with that. It's
Ooh.
It's great. Okay, so
Yeah,
like
that
your
sounds
webcam's around
messy.
your playmat. Oh no, I knocked my deck over. I'll pick it back up and shuffle in a card against that. Like, there's been so many like
Oh,
The
instances of
webcam
people. The
fell.
web,
Uh-oh.
yeah,
no, my
or
server big glitch.
oh
Uh-oh.
no, I disconnected. Oh, I happen to have the out. GG. Like,
Oh no. Yeah, that just sounds very messy. I feel like you either need to play in person or you need an online client.
yeah, and I
And
mean, like,
then,
there's
even then, like someone could be in the room with you.
they're in-person events. They've been shoving them into like anime conventions and stuff. So like,
Oh,
you
okay.
have to buy a badge for that convention, and then you still have to pay for your tournament entry. And like, traveling to those is awful because like you have to worry about hotels more than just for the tournament itself, but for this
True.
anime
The
convention going on.
convention.
And like
Yeah.
they had a bunch of events at Gen Con for indie, but you also had to buy a badge for Gen Con, and then hotels for Gen Con are stupidly expensive.
Because
So
it's a
Yeah.
con going on. So
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
very inaccessible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the best
We have some
cards
local guys
too are
here.
also promos. So like, if you didn't participate
Oh,
in a certain event, you didn't get this promo card, and you need four of them for this deck to function, because there's no searching in the game. It's all like what you draw off the top of the deck. And so you have to
Wow.
play 3 or 4 of every card for consistency purposes. And like, oh, you need
Makes
this you
sense.
need this promo Palmon, it's $25 a piece. $100 for 4 cards? You could build a whole Pokemon deck for $100.
Yeah, or less.
Yeah,
Honestly.
or you could build multiple Pokemon decks that are competitively viable for less than that. Like, at that point.
True. That's true. Yeah, that is one thing that's good about Pokemon. It's cheap compared to the other games for sure. To start playing, it's very cheap. I wouldn't even say like Pogo is cheap to get into because like for all the resources you need, it's like very hard to like free to play to the
Yeah, you need to have like max capacity bag and Pokemon storage.
the balls and everything too.
You have to catch everything nonstop, have the Stardust to evolve. Oh, you don't have the right move set. Oh, here's an Elite TM. It's $10.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's
whew.
what I'm saying. That's expensive for sure too. You play video games, board games?
Board games, not so much. Video games, I like Phantasy Star. I've been a big Sega fan. I can't wait for Sonic Origins to come out. Not
Nice.
Origins. Oh god, it's Frontiers next month. I might play some Overwatch 2 tonight because that came out today. If I can get into the queue.
Cool.
So yeah, I like a little bit of everything when it comes to games,
he
but
mixes it up more than I do.
yeah.
I'm normally, when I'm streaming, I'm playing PTCGO every so often. Maybe a couple times a month, Steuben. I'll play something different.
Mario Kart or Fall Guys or whatever. Yeah.
Mario
Yeah.
Kart, Fall Guys. I've
that's
done.
cute.
And those are fun because you can get community
have you done
involved.
Multiverses yet, Stu?
No, I downloaded it but never played it.
Played it. It's fun.
I don't like Smash Brothers that much. Like, the
Okay.
novelty of Smash Brothers wears off after a few months, and then just that I'm not as attached to those characters in Multiverses. Like, if they give me Gus Frayne or like Walter White in that game, then yeah, I'll play it because that'll be funny. That'd be so funny because they own the rights to those characters technically. So I would Multiverses, if you're listening and you're not, you put Walter White or Gus Frayne in the game, then yeah,
I'm the one who knocks.
I'll be a diehard player.
I'm Heisenberg.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, it would.
And I also enjoy a lot of not as much recently because it's so hard to keep up with, but Destiny, and that's a problem in its own recently.
I used to play a lot of Destiny.
It's super grindy now. Like,
I think it's always been pretty grindy though. You know what I switched to in Destiny was just playing. What is the mode called? What's the mode where you have like the moats?
Oh, Gambit.
Yes, Gambit.
Yeah.
That's what I like thoroughly enjoy on Destiny.
They don't ever update Gambit. They
Really?
don't update it. Like, I think it's gotten like 1 or 2 updates in the past couple of years now.
Wow. I mean, it was fun even when I was playing it like pretty frequently. I think that game mode, as soon as they like published that and I started playing that's the only thing I played in
it was super awesome. And then it just they like the meta of the weapons in the game kind of got too crazy. And then now they changed how everything works. Now there's seasons just like every other game, and there's your battle pass or whatever for extra stuff. But now, like, there's every 3 months there's a new story arc that once it's gone, and you've missed out on that loophole. And so if you didn't get the random rolls and the weapons you wanted during that loophole, then you don't have it. And then like you can't keep up in PvP at all.
Oh,
Like,
that's unfortunate.
the
That's lame.
PvP is awful if you don't play it die hard.
Dang. That's super
Seasons.
lame.
The best way to make money.
True.
Season
Yeah.
passes.
And loot
I love how
boxes.
like a game like even Multiverses is free to play. Well, free to play, but if you want the good characters, you got to pay money. And look at Unite.
Oh, Unite's like one of the
Unite.
worst. And that's why it's so confusing to me as to
Season
why they're
passes.
like, we don't want microtransactions in TCG Live or whatever, because that's just against our brand. I'm like, look at Unite. Like, you're asking $40 for something cosmetic
Yeah,
in the
and
It's a new
game.
season pass. You get a free hat.
didn't they
Ooh.
just change it too to where like they would introduce a character and then people would be able to use it for free and use their passes to play it for free? Now I think
Yeah.
for the first week, the only way you can play the new characters as they drop is you have to physically pay for them.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just like that's like one of the most like microtransaction heavy game I've ever played in my life. But then they won't give us like basic microtransactions for PTCGL that would make the game like so much better if you could
Mhm.
just buy what you need, because you're only buying it pretty much once. It's not like a repetitive thing,
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and a lot of
yeah,
people
that's
like
annoying.
instantly crapped on live right out of the gate, but yet there's still people that are like, no, actually try it, get your own opinion, and they're like, oh yeah, it's not as bad as we thought it was.
So, I
Shout out to Mitch and
mean,
Stabilize.
That's what,
oh yeah,
yeah, Mitch was
Mitch,
like the
yeah,
biggest proponent for it. So like,
he's advocating pretty heavily for it. That's where Mitch and I definitely disagree, I think. But I think that's mainly because like he's viewing it from the perspective of like, is it functional? Yeah. Like it's I mean, to an
Is
extent.
it?
Like, sometimes no, actually.
Shout out to
Like
our
when they
guy,
opened up the
Trust Your
servers
Pilot.
and then like matchmaking broke for like a billion years.
Yeah. Our
Yeah,
guy
in that
Trust Your
sense, it's
Pilot is the one
actually
playing on
not
Twitch, and
functional.
he says there's so many. He hits bugs almost daily, and he'll post them on his Twitter account, and for everyone to see. He's like, I transfer my account. I'm not gonna go back. Here it is. I'm stuck with it.
You're talking
I'll
about
play it.
Trust Your Pilot?
yeah,
Yeah, our guy
Yeah,
Trust Your Pilot. Yeah,
Trust Your Pilot's great. He's
I
very
try to
great.
convince him to go back to PTCGO. So I have codes for you. He just won't do it.
He won't do it? I
He
mean,
won't do it.
he's like the PTCGL creator though, so he's kinda branded
He is.
himself in that sense.
yeah,
But
he's
yeah.
stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Very, very
He's
stuck in
embraced
that
it. He's
sense.
dove into it. He's doubled down on it. So
I think it just I look at it more of a perspective of like, what should they have given us? You know what I mean? Like, what did we deserve, especially after having like an ancient client? And if you look at it more from that perspective, it's like definitely not what they gave us. That's for sure.
What this?
No, yeah, definitely not that. Like, I would have rather them just given more of a budget to Direwolf, who produces
Yeah.
PTCGO, because I don't know if you guys have seen any of the other games that Direwolf actually runs, but they're
No.
super nice.
I've not.
Like, they have another TCG game. I forgot what it's called, but so nice looking, runs super smooth, adorable. Looks very similar to Runeterra, which is the like what's that? League of Legends card game, or like I guess what are some other Hearthstone, similar to that. Yeah, like they are a great publisher. Like everyone hates on Direwolf, and it is not on Direwolf. It is for sure on
Oh,
their restriction.
they have Munchkin Digital. Okay.
Yeah, they make a lot of games that are like really nice. Like they're actually a very like good publisher, but yeah, they just have so many restrictions under the Pokemon contract where they cannot do certain things for the game. So it's essentially like they fix bugs and release the cards and that's it. You know what I mean? They don't really do anything else besides that. So I would have rather them just
Leave it in their hands and give them more of a
just
budget.
giving Direwolf
Yeah.
the contract or whatever instead of
Mhm.
making it in-house Pokemon, because that hasn't helped us at all. You know what I mean? Like Direwolf actually does have the transparency and stuff with their other games, with the community as well. Like they actually have their own, devs, Twitter accounts, forums, and stuff too. So I feel like we would have seen more transparency.
Yeah, if they were allowed to, that would have been
Yeah.
that would be awesome. And I think like in general, like with on the term of transparency, I think TPCI just needs to be more transparent about a lot of things.
Oh yeah, that's for
Ooh.
sure. Will it happen though? I don't think so.
I mean, we were kept in the dark for so long for the season and points until like 2 days before the first event of the
True.
season.
That's true. You're right.
Like,
I mean, look what's going on with like LAIC.
yeah, yeah,
And like people can't even get like their visas and stuff. It's like past that window already. You know what I mean? They very much like they very much like shoot themselves in the foot in a lot of ways. That's for sure. Or like how the dates for Toronto were wrong for like 2 weeks on the
Zool
site.
was not about that. Zool hated that.
Like what?
Like, what if someone wasn't a part of the community and just saw that on the Pokemon website? Like,
Oh,
oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
And,
booked
the
yeah.
ticket
and then book
I'll do
the
that.
non-refundable ticket and hotel room and stuff like that.
for a weekend where they're not even there. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so many pretty like crucial mistakes that they make for sure.
And rip to our guys in Australia. They're still just waiting to hear anything. Like, please.
Yeah, they don't have. They have nothing. There's not even
Tell me something, please.
There's nothing.
Henry Brand is crying right now.
R.I.P. our Australian friends.
Yeah, they're just chilling like in a room with a candle, just like can we have a smidge of electricity, Pokemon?
Tell us, they're gonna shine light on this in a second. Just wait.
More porridge, please.
Tiny Tim's in there, just like,
Yeah.
may I play some Pokemon, please?
Please. No, I understand Mitch's perspective. I think also Mitch doesn't like the mob mentality sort of concept behind it, where it's just like, oh, all the big creators say live sucks, so it sucks. And I understand like going against that, because I agree in a lot of senses. Like, we shouldn't just all be saying the same thing. Like, the groupthink is very bad in a lot of ways. But no, as far as live, like, it just is not good for what they should have given us, is my viewpoint of it, for sure. And the thing is too, is like, they not only need to be able to attract new players, and the good starter decks and stuff are definitely attributes of being able to attract new players, but you also have to sustain a player base as well.
Like that,
And
you're right. Very
it's
good point.
not going to sustain with what the game is.
What
Absolutely
we
not.
have now, they'll visually, I guess, and then if you hit enough bugs, and it's just, it could turn you off. So you're right. You have to sustain.
Yeah, and Mitch keeps saying like, oh, PTCGO has a bug, like it's a terrible game, blah blah blah. But it's really not even about the bugs in PTCGL. Like, yeah, that's a problem. It's more so about there's a bug and it takes weeks or months to fix with zero updates, zero transparency, zero feedback that they're taking at all. And like the team is just not doing well with the game, and it's kind of just like a dumpster fire rolling down a hill sort of thing at this point. And again, it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot, and it's bad. And also, just like, how did they launch what they launched without, it's like kind of like Andrew Mahone said, like they didn't do any sort of market research like at all, or they didn't ask anyone. Like, I played competitive Age of Empires 2. That's how I started like my Twitch streaming career or whatever. And that Relic was developing AoE 4, and they actually like brought out a group of us. They flew us out to Vancouver, and we like alpha tested AoE 4 years before it even came out. Gave them tons of feedback. They asked us lots of questions. Because they wanted to develop a game that the community wanted to see,
Yeah.
And that's what Pokemon should have done with PTCGL, like 100%. Take, people from different perspectives. So like maybe someone who's newer to the hobby, pro players, like from every side of the hobby, and just do like market research with them, and then they're going to be able to develop something that people actually want. Instead of developing something that nobody wants, and then they're trying to play catch up now and change things and make it right. But it's like they dropped the ball. And how many games do you see recover from such a bad initial launch? Like, it's very rare. So just unfortunate
Yeah,
how
it's very
everything
rare.
turned out. I think they should just scrap it and start a totally new game, or just give it to Direwolf, like straight up. I would heavily advocate for that.
It'd be all right. Either way, new game again, or let PTCGO
I think
exist in some shape or form.
I think
Yeah, or just
Cilio said like
update
PTCGO
PTCGO,
wasn't just
really.
he said it wasn't just broken. He said Cilio said PTCGO just like needed a new coat of paint, like an update, some tweaks. He said it wasn't just like a
Yep.
broken game. They said we got to start from the ground up. He said you don't have to. You kind of have a decent starting point here. Just build off of that. So
They could easily fix the trading system in some shape or form. And then
in PTCGO, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just like revamp PTCGO. Yeah, I agree with that.
Let everyone
like,
keep all their cards they've spent thousands of dollars of codes on over the years inherently.
Yeah, so bad, so bad. It really did just need like a revamp, a ranked ladder, and like better starter decks and tutorial. It's like that's really it.
Yeah, getting basic red and mental might in this day and age, like you can't even win on the expanded ladder, and that's what you're allowed to play when you have those cards.
Oh my god!
Hey, shout out to our guy Zach for the tutorial. He pops in, he's holding the cards like, here's what you need to do to play Fire Energy. Shout out to Zach, man. He taught us all how to play this game.
Yeah, and they have a thing where it's like, do you want to test your deck against like AI, and then you're playing against like ancient decks? It's like, what?
Before a couple times, okay, let me try, and then it pops up. It's like, I'm gonna bench this Inkay. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
it's like you're playing with 300 plus HP Pokemon against like a 30 HP Magikarp. Like, are you serious?
Here's my Ponyta. I'll attach and use Stomp for 10. I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna work out.
So bad, so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get that rolling in some shape or form. But just I don't know. I don't want to completely crap on live because I haven't had the chance to play it, but it doesn't look fun. It doesn't look fun. It just seems.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Like aesthetically, it doesn't look nice.
No.
Like, when you don't even get to the meat and potatoes of the actual functionality, aesthetically, it looks terrible.
The visuals and aesthetically, it doesn't. It looks. That was one of my issues. I knew a lot of the things visually was geared towards mobile, so I knew that. I understand that part, but it's still just. Can I say it looks boring? Is that okay? Can I say that?
It looks it looks sterile. It looks very sterile. I don't even understand why they jumped into like, let's just make realistic people trainers instead of like how Unite. Like, Unite is a person, like you make your own person stuff, but you still have cute like Pokemon clothes. It's a cute design. Like, it's all
like the synchronized breathing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Why you
Let's all do it at once, okay? 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Oh my god.
So that's literally how they breathe. It's actually so scary.
It's like iRobot or whatever. Like,
oh my god, it's so scary. But it doesn't make any sense because like they could have gone in a totally different direction. Like the cafe, like the Pokemon Cafe game, that was super cute. Pokemon Masters. Everybody loved that. Pokemon Unite, nailed it. That's not even like playing as Cynthia or whatever. That's like you have your own character and you have cute things that you can customize with. You know what I mean? But they give us these like, it's like we're Pokemon fans. We want that like fantasy. We want to see the Pokemon characters. You know what I mean? We want to see this game like come to life and to feel like we're playing Pokemon, but
not Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as avatars.
Exactly. Or just like, I just want myself as a trainer or whatever in this game, and I'm playing on a hospital floor. Like,
everyone said that. I was like, it does look like a hospital floor. He's right.
Yeah,
it does.
It's like,
but Justin's right. It's like the Uncanny Valley, like in all those mid 2000 CGI movies where they try to make it look exactly like human faces, and it just doesn't, and it's weird. It's like,
they're soulless, dude.
Yeah,
they're robots, man. They're Cylons. For real.
They're taking over the world.
Yeah.
So this looks like it turned into the pod after the pod, huh? The after pod.
And can you imagine how cool it'd be if like you played a card and then like your little because you know how like Yu-Gi-Oh, Runeterra, and stuff. They all have like you can have a little pet.
Oh yeah,
on
the
the
little
side.
buddy. Yeah.
Can you imagine if like you played the card and then the Pokemon spawned on the screen, like to the side? Like that's like your person. You know what I mean? Like it's like a 3D sort of like
Yeah.
battle thing. That would be so sweet. Or even if we could like if they did want to make it more like, oh, you're just a trainer or whatever. Okay, then give us play mats, give us deck boxes, give us
Yeah.
customization, not just like a blank sterile screen. You
Like
know
as
what I
much
mean?
as I crap on Yu-Gi-Oh, but like they did so good with Master Duel. Konami like hit the ball and knocked it out of the park with Master Duel. Like the music doesn't sound like Yu-Gi-Oh music at all. It's like fully orchestrated, beautiful tracks that are epic that change with the dynamics of the game pace. Like they did so good with every little thing, like the living environments that like the little koi fish in the pond and the one stadium. They did so good.
Yeah. And it's hard to look at a game like that and then look at live and just be like, you just feel discouraged right
Yeah.
off the bat.
It's like playing Math Blaster on your Windows 95 PC and then looking at like the newest AAA title on the PlayStation 5 in comparison.
Bro, it really
It's
does
tough
look
back in
like
the day,
it'd be
man.
like if you're doing like an instructional
Do
like
you remember Sonic Schoolhouse? Have you ever seen anything from Sonic
Never seen
Schoolhouse?
that.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
it was
Yeah.
a interactive PC like learning game, and like you never played as Sonic, you played as like these random animals in a school, and it just looks like that with like numbers dancing around, and you have to find them. Like,
Yeah, it does not translate Pokemon at all. Like
no,
you look at that game and you're like, what the heck is this? You know?
like the Pokemon Play It discs from Base Set 2 were better than Live's appearance.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like when the only thing you see that's Pokemon related is like the stagnant background picture, which is just like a full res version of like the set release photo thing. Like that's all you
Yeah.
see in the menu screen. And then like there's a, Togepi or whatever on the little tier list. And
Yeah.
like that's it. Like that's the only time you see Pokemon in the game.
Like it's completely like void of personality and everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not good. It's not good. So yes, like functionality, if they fix the bugs and stuff, sure, we could play this, but does that mean it's better than PTCGO and it's gonna help the game grow? Like, no, definitely not. Definitely not. Like if anything, like the only thing that really helps is the being able to dust your cards or whatever, and then also the starter decks are actually updated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is such like an easy thing to do. So it's like, wow. All right. Cool.
Yeah, imagine if they gave everybody who just signed up for PTCGO now, like, oh yeah, here, you can pick an Arceus deck or a Zoroark deck. Like, wow.
Mhm.
That'd
Yeah,
be so much better for new players instead of having to grind codes for 3 years.
Gazer beam. One Zoroark.
I'll take one of the Zoroarks, thank you. I'm gonna make it a thing. It's gonna be a thing. It has to be.
Somebody already beat you to it. They topped 8 with it.
Yeah,
As I'd say,
right.
it's a
guess you're
thing
right.
for sure. We're gonna see more Zoroarks. Will they triumph? Nobody knows.
Well,
I don't know.
I told you I have a list, and it knocks out everything. It's just I have 3 hard losses, and unfortunately, one of them is the most meta deck there is right now. But Zoroark it hits so hard, so fast. I'm hitting no less than a 230 by turn 2.
Yeah,
and that's on a bad turn.
It's so turbo. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those matchups, oof. But that's what I'm saying. In a different type of meta, though, if it sneaks in, it can clean up.
Yeah.
But yeah, not if. And my worry, and now you guys saying Palkia has gone up in price, which is like, is that people are just gonna revert back to Palkia because they're like, oh, okay, these decks were fun to play with, but I need points. Yeah. I need points, so I'm gonna play like the consistent deck that's gonna win me games.
Play some shady dealings. This
and just like Lightning seems like it's just not like they're good Lightning Pokemon, but they're not enough. They're not enough to deal with Palkia and the Inteleon engine together. Like the two of them, it's just like It's just too good. And honestly, like I would prefer to go back to the ADP days. I would.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. I'll go back to ADPization over Palkia
but
Dominance.
you could still beat ADP is the thing.
Yeah.
Like Palkia is just actually really
not
good.
Endorse ADP.
Take it back. We need
the delay person. People could have played Whimsicott more or Guardian more, and like just I had no problem playing against ADP. I had a good time.
Yeah, it was still beatable.
Yeah, you could still beat it. You could hit it for weakness, and it mattered. You can hit Palkia for a weakness, but it's still not enough. There's like what hits it for a weakness that KOs it that's relevant, that doesn't need more than 3 energy. Yeah, but then like you're trading a 2-prizer for a 2-prizer, and like what's the point?
I mean, we're gonna have rotations soon, and the entire engine's gonna fall apart. So
well, they'll just open barrel and say, "Hey, we'll call it a day."
Yeah, but but still, like the B-Barrel is so like different as well. Like I don't know, because really Palkia can still brick. I mean, we saw that in the finals. Like it can still brick. So
yeah, Lone Sobble.
Yeah, Lone Sobble. That was it. I mean, we even saw that in the finals of NAIC. Isaiah's Palkia bricked. Like, remember he had like 11 cards or something and like couldn't play one?
Yeah, he went like 3 turns without doing anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you think about that early startup, and that's why I think the way forward too is like Kyurem, the Kyurem build. I liked Kyurem as soon as it came out. Like, I would have played Kyurem to Peoria if I had the choice.
Yeah, I like Kyurem.
Kyurem's good. Kyurem's fun, and it has the monkey. The monkey.
Monkey
but then if we lose
punch.
Monkey too.
Yeah, Monkey's gone.
Monkey's gone.
Switching cups?
True. That's true.
Get them now. They're 10 cents a piece.
Get them now. You'll need them in 4 months. Get them now.
Before the crypto bros come in and swoop them up.
Yeah, the custom catcher squad. Selling them for $10 after buying them for 10 cents. Ooh. Crazy. Crazy.
No, we lose Monkey.
Yeah, we lose Monkey.
We lose Monkey. Rotom Phone, I think, might also go.
Rotom Phone?
Rotom Phone, isn't that from
Champions Path? So yeah, they both go. Oh, I read that wrong. It says she said, "Don't we lose?" I read we don't lose.
Oh.
Oh yes.
I want to read.
No, we lose.
Yeah, I need to learn how to read. Sorry, I need to go back.
Amy, don't mind him. Sorry,
yeah,
Amy.
my bad. Yeah.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm so sad about. It's like my favorite card. Oranguru is the best. That's literally why we created Whap Down.
Yeah,
that's the move.
That's your thing.
That is my thing. I have so many of the gold ones, and I didn't even pull them. People either sent me the gold monkeys or like I bought them. So I never pulled one. So sad.
Oof. I've always wanted the gold Flaffy. I never pulled one, but Emily bought me one.
Oh,
so
that's nice. Emily MVP.
I wish you could get packs of Evolving Skies without paying $5, $6, $7 a piece, so I could attempt to crack a Flaffy, but that's fine. And then everybody online gave me their gold ones. I have like 40, I think, in PTCGO.
Oh,
I have a booster box of Evolving Skies. I'm just saying.
Gazer Beam flexing on us all night. I'm gonna go to locals tomorrow, the next day.
I'll take my box of Evolving Skies and put it beside my playmat just to assert my dominance against these players.
It's gonna be my V-Star.
Ready to sit it down.
You turn it over as your V-Star token.
Two of the kids that come to our store, I have the new Gen 4 Professor Program mat that I redeemed my points for. They're like, look at you with your $300 playmat. And I'm like, come on, I didn't pay $300 for it. And they're like, oh, I better put my playmat back. I don't want to touch your $300 playmat. I'm sorry, I'm a peasant. And these two kids just keep ripping on me all the time.
It's roasting you.
They do. They'll like talk about a deck and like, oh, I know where I can get a list. And they like start playing my videos on full blast. This is like these little punks.
It's so funny.
It's so evil.
Wow.
It drives me nuts when they do it.
That's maximum trolling. That's hilarious.
They act like Beavis and Butthead. They really do. They'll sit there and they'll play against each other and they act like Beavis and Butthead the entire time.
That's so funny. Well, wow. Stupid, what time is it for you now? 11?
11. I need to eat dinner.
Eat dinner! Oh my god!
It's 8 p.m. I might stream tonight.
I'm probably gonna go get some. I don't know. I kind of want the cheese, like the cheddar bites from Cookout. You guys have Cookout?
Nope.
I do not have a cookout. What is
What?
cookout?
If you go to Cookout,
What?
though, do you get cheer wine?
No.
You don't like cheer wine?
No, it's not that I don't. Well, I just don't drink sodas like that.
The last time we went to Charlotte for regionals, I came back with like 4 or 5 cases of cheer wine because I can't get it here. And it,
Yeah,
like
the only
I lived in
time-
North Carolina for a few years as a kid, and it was like my favorite thing ever, like mixing it with milkshakes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Can't
awesome.
can't get it here unless you go to Cracker Barrel and pay $5 for a glass bottle.
Oh, jeez.
So no
That's
thanks.
wild.
Yeah.
Stupid, I'll have to like bring you some then whenever you come somewhere. That's easy.
Yeah. Oh, a 12-pack of cans will last me like 6 months because I'll just like make 12 floats.
You
Yeah.
gotta savor them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
When they did the relaunch of Mountain Dew Typhoon, I bought 2 cases and I still have like half of them. So
Well, if you ever see a Cookout, you should definitely go. It's super good.
it
Really
always looks good. I see the pictures all the time
Their
online.
cheddar bites are the best like cheese curds I've ever eaten in my life. So definitely
I like
awesome.
cheese curds.
Oh yeah, cheese curds, man. Oh, when we went to Wisconsin, we had Culver's for the first time, and man, those cheese curds are good too.
Oh no, Steuben. See, if you think Culver's cheese curds are good, Cookouts are like 20 times better.
But Wisconsin is known for their cheese.
I know,
That's
but like
sacrilege.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like the way they cook them is like perfect. Like the perfect amount of hot, crispy, cheesy. It's everything.
I'm also
Not
jealous of
so-
everybody that has Bojangles because, like, oh man,
Yeah, we have Bojangles.
Cajun filet biscuit with strawberry jam and hot sauce on it. It sounds disgusting, but it's honestly super awesome.
I could
Never
see it.
had.
I could see it.
All I have is 12 card shops and a box of waffle
Screw
fries.
you, Gazer.
Dang, Gazer. Not like this.
Oh, you're a bully. All right, let's get out of here. It's 11 o'clock.
All right.
Again, thank you
Thank
for joining us. I guess for the pod after dark as well, or whatever you want to call this.
Afterpod. Call the afterpod, man.
Wait,
Yeah.
Steuben, you have to tell us the origin of your name now, since it's after dark.
Oh, we're still
true.
We're still live though, so
Oh, you
Just
can't
tell
do it
it
at
now.
all?
Nah, it involves some substances and some minors.
Oh, okay.
I was one of the minors in question.
Okay,
at
I
the
was gonna
time,
say
though.
that sounds a lot worse, Steuben.
I've-
than
I've-
you
I've-
intended.
I've told it on Twitch and a few people know it. Let's just say I had a very a stony art teacher when I was in middle/high school.
Okay.
And
Got it.
Yeah.
That's a long time name
Yeah.
then.
Yep. I've had it for a long time.
It's like your nickname for like people, like what they call you.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
yep.
cool.
Everybody does now too. Yeah. So.
That's chill.
As long as some people thought his name was Ben.
Yeah, people would come in and like raid the stream or whatever, and like, oh, what's up, Ben? And I'm like, no, my name's Steven, but thanks.
Actually, I'm Steven, but
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah,
No,
not
Shelby, thank you
a
so
Ben.
much.
Yes, thank you. This was awesome. Great time.
I will see you guys around. I'm sure I'll be
Yes.
stalking your stream next time.
Yeah. Well, if Gazer's going live tonight, you can go harass Gazer on
That's
Twitch tonight.
true.
I do the
That's
Twitch.
true.
I don't know how to do the YouTubes. It's hard.
It's not.
I feel you. I understand.
All right.
All right, well,
you
good
guys
night,
thank you for tuning in and
everyone.
watching. Appreciate you guys.
See you,
Yes.
everybody.
Pokey Emmy
Yeah.
Vice. The Kit
To
Kat.
everyone in chat.
Bye.
I guess 9 card. I guess whatever.
Oh God, they're calling me Ben now. What have you done?
Oh no.
Ben.
You did that, Steuben.
I didn't.
You brought that up.
No, Gazer brought up the Ben thing.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
I have a booster box of Evolving Skies. I don't.
Yeah, I've got 47
Dang.
locals. Ugh, King of the castle. I
play
have a chair.
7 days a week. I'm playing Zoroark and making everybody lose.
You should have seen me during pre-release. There was like 7 pre-releases over the weekend. I went to like all of them, and in my mind, I was like, okay, I'll go to these 3. and that'll be it. I went to all of them. I was just going from just shop to shop, just playing, and just.
That's sweet, actually. I love pre-releases. They're so fun.
Dang
It
you
was my first
guys.
pre-release ever, so I couldn't stop myself. I was like,
Oh no, Nick,
that's
no.
What?
Triple B,
No,
Ben, Boo
Nick.
Bean. Aw,
No.
9 card.
What happened?
They're all calling me Ben in the chat. Good night, Boo, Gazer, and Ben. And Nick said Triple B, Ben, Boo, and Beam.
Aw.
That's kind of cute though.
Oh, you
Ben,
punks.
Boo Bean. Hey, tell our tell MWDC the name of the pod. This episode is going to be called Ben Boo Bean.
No.
Yeah, I like it.
No.
Ben Boo Bean. There it is.
No.
It's got the Frosted Caribou endorsement.
Yeah, Ben. Wait. Ben Boo Beam. Yeah, that's nice.
There it is.
That's the squad. Technically, it's a part of your username. Stupid.
Yeah.
I gotta change my name now. That's over. I'm canceling myself next on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go around. Hey, if you guys have anything incriminating against me, I'm gonna have to ask you to put it out there now. I need to be canceled. Just release it. Just end me. Do it.
Video of Steuben. No.
Oh, that's
all right.
funny.
Hey, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Hanging
Bye,
out,
everybody.
chat. You guys, Steuben, Boo. Appreciate you guys.
See ya.
See you later.